The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You ping!
Stop! Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people. Happy Thanksgiving week, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome. On this Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, November 26, 2024, this program starts now. Football! It's wonderful. We have news all around the football world, and in the second hour, about an hour from right now, Aaron Rodgers will join us fresh off a bye week where he went back to his alma mater, Cal, over there in the great city of Berkeley, California, that I got a chance to visit, and they had a reunion of such. He was around Deshaun Jackson, and I believe Marshawn Lynch was there, and I assume a bunch of dudes that I have never heard of that he got to see. I can't wait to catch up with him about that, and then while he was doing all this stuff, you know, there was just a barrage of reports about Aaron Rodgers. Might go to ours. This guy might get cut. He wants to play in 2025, but not for the New York Jets. Him and Woody Johnson have a strained relationship. No, him and Woody Johnson had dinner in the city a couple weeks ago. So many things, just one thing after another. Can't wait to ask him about it. You know, can't wait to chat with him. And obviously, he wasn't on last week whenever a general manager was fired because they were in the bye week and they were wrapping up practice and heading out. So there's a lot to catch up on. And I'll be excited to see his thoughts on what the rest of this season looks like for the New York Jets and for himself, and also what the future of his life looks like. Today should be a good one. Then Heather Dinich will be joining us in about 19 minutes or so. She obviously massive college football voice. Last week, whenever she came on, and she talked about a 3-loss SEC team getting in over a 1-loss Big Ten school, potentially. That's kind of what she chatted about last week. It had massive reaction. Yeah. I mean, you're talking about everybody on earth responded to that, especially in the Big Ten. And now, after what happened in the SEC this past weekend and what happened in the Big Ten with the Ohio State-Indiana game, I'll be excited to see where Heather's at. Heather is rock star in this college football world. Dialed in. And the only reason why I've seen her on TV, and I got massive respect for the work that she does for college ball and everything. Never got to work together. Every time she comes on our show, all the clips.
Oh, yeah.
Wildfire. Hey, Heather moves the needle. Whenever Heather's talking college ball, people have opinions. And she sits in a pocket. And she's excited to chit-chat about the future of the college football season that's happening. And I can't wait either because tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern, the College Football Playoff Reveal Show. It's a ranking show right now until it becomes a bracket show after the conference champions have been decided. Because remember, this bracket is so dependent upon the conference champions because conference champions all get a first-round bye. Now, do you want a first-round bye? Do you want a first-round bye? Do you want 3 weeks off instead of 2 weeks off with a home game potentially? And do you want to maybe a road like the 5 seed will have through, however it goes, the lowest seeded teams potentially to get all the way to the semifinal? Now, that doesn't mean a team can't upset another team. We saw a lot of that throughout the not only college football season, but more specifically this past weekend, which is why college ball is the greatest, which is why having a 13-person committee have to figure it out. Good luck to you. Can't wait to see where you stand this week. Now, a couple times they've contradicted themselves, I think, with the decisions that they've made. But how could you not whenever teams showcase a new side of themselves? Whenever a team shows themselves to be incredible and then they show up and stink, I'm assuming that human instinct is going to be like, well, actually, this team's been a fraud all along. When other people in the room might think to themselves, oh, they just had a bad day. So then 13 people have to figure that out. They're obviously always going to contradict each other. Every time strength of schedule is brought up, I think there's going to be like football judgment that's going to be brought up by a couple people too. Think about you sitting around 12 of your friends. Let's say you and your friends get along very well. Same hospital board.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Same neighborhood, same schools, same teams, same everything. You and 12 of your friends, 13 total, have to sit down and decide 12 spots for anything. Let's say best cereal, best food,
you name it.
College football teams, NFL teams. There's going to be a lot of disagreements. So how they get to a final answer whenever this really matters,
Good luck.
Good luck in there.
Have fun.
Good luck. Thank God we are not there. I guess there is something, ladies and gentlemen, 9-year NFL vet, Florida Panthers fan, who's the reigning, defending, undisputed Stanley Cup champion, Florida Panthers. Darius J. Butler is joining us. D-Butch, you got a text from somebody last week, right, whenever we were talking about this?
Yes.
I guess media goes and does like a mock college football ranking thing, right?
Yep, so you see exactly how the committee gets to those different teams. They bring some, sports people in there so that, obviously we can get out and talk about it.
I respect that they do that, but it's not about the process, it's about the people.
Yeah.
So, whenever there's media people in there, how they think, that could be, it could be similar. Could get lucky.
Sure.
That everybody in there thinks the same way as athletic directors from Michigan and athletic directors from the ACC. And I think there's a former player in there. I think there's a couple coaches in there. Them all agreeing on something, I have no idea how they do it, but I can't wait to judge the shit out of them whenever I think they get it wrong.
I wish we could just see that.
Yeah, let us in the room.
Just let us in the room. Let us in the war room. Go through it. Have commercial breaks. I'm sure you can sell that for millions and millions of dollars. So I wish that would be absolutely entertaining.
Yeah, but just like Hard Knocks offseason, I don't think they want.
Too much
They want
access.
people knowing how the sausage gets made.
I don't think one of the ADs
thing
wants
is
to
gonna be
go,
said.
you're telling me the ACC is going to have 2 teams in there, and then all of a sudden on the other side, they got a couple good. Is the SEC that powerful with all that? And then somebody else comes in and goes, Oklahoma just beat Alabama. Okay, I don't want to. I don't want. Auburn just beat Texas A&M. Auburn stinks. That's what. No, I don't think this.
Right.
I'm just telling you.
Committee.
This is
the
hypothetical. This is a
hypothetical
hypothetical situation in this entire thing. Auburn stinks. I mean, they're not even good. They beat Texas A&M. Now Texas A&M, just because they beat Texas, who hasn't beat anybody, actually only lost to the one team that they played. They get in the SEC championship. They have 2 losses. Now they're in the SEC championship, taking on who? Georgia, who has what? 2 losses in there. So now 1 3-loss team is going to get in. They just lost to Auburn. This team just lost. What are we even? How? That's the whole shebang. That is the
Even
whole.
the IU loss, does that make the Big Ten look weaker now? 'Cause you just got Old State and Oregon up there, but then everybody, Penn State too, but it's a lot of questions.
There's a lot of questions. And Heather Dinich is going to give us all of her answers.
Can't wait.
We're thankful she's doing that. Thankful she's doing that. And then Tershawn Wharton, who's a D tackle for the Kansas City Chiefs, 5 years from Missouri State. He saved a kid's life this weekend. And we caught wind of this, obviously, on the internet yesterday. Shout out to T_Russ. Bolton fan, Chief fan. Tershawn Wharton catches him. Catches that kid that just fell off that balcony, head down. Head down. That kid's going head straight down there. Now, obviously, security guy loses his mind after the kid falls. So, obviously, let's maybe tighten it up a little bit. I have no idea how there isn't a railing there all the way across. Anyways, who knows when the stadium was built? Who knows what rules are? But, boom, grabs him, catches him. Tershawn Wharton, he'll be joining us at 12:50 Eastern in the middle of his meetings. Obviously, they play on Friday, but we reached out and said, hey, is there any way we can get a word from a guy that just saved a life potentially after a game and also got a glove? And this kid, shout out to this kid. Hey, he was going for it.
He was
going for it. Now, hopefully he'll learn a lesson from this entire thing. But him coming back up, too, with the glove going, thank you. All right. I'll see you guys. The kid's a dog. I assume that kid's going to go on and do great things. Can't be, obviously, throwing himself over balconies or ledges going forward.
Got a glove.
Got a glove.
Victory.
Got caught from Tershawn Wharton. And,
greatest day of his life.
We'll chit-chat with Tershawn in about 40 minutes or so. I can't wait to hear his thought. What was he thinking? Because, fast act. There's another security guy down there.
Yeah.
And Tershawn reaches around and does that entire thing. It's
Great
like
hands.
Classic dad reaction. Dad, uncle, just
Gotcha.
Hey, I will say,
Caught an arm.
foot.
Oh yeah, anything.
I will foot under Mackenzie's head whenever she bobbles.
Rolling.
Has been like kick save and a beauty. Like I feel like a superhuman whenever it happens. I'm like, foot under there. Her back of her head hits your foot. It's like, did anybody?
Camera anywhere?
And then I look at Mackenzie. I'm like,
You know.
You know what just happened. Pick her back up. She's at the. She is very confident, but then every once in a while loses focus. So then she's drunk baby, or a drunk toddler, pretty much walking around, and she'll even do like a lean on one leg, and then bring that bitch back to center. And I'm like, you know what? I like what you're doing out there, Ken's. And she'll fall, she'll wipe out, and then she's right back up.
Get back up. It's all about how you react. The parent,
exactly.
like, hey, come on, get up. And just pop right back up.
But if you,
then it's
every once in a while.
you blink, she's gonna be flying around the house.
It's really hard not to do the full for some of these moments.
Especially little girls.
Yeah, whenever she starts falling and then the reach of the foot to get her. It's like while she's falling, though, I don't want to overreact because I don't want her to panic either. But I am. I am certainly panicking.
Got to soften it.
She's so fast, too. She's starting to move. That's kind of how, that's like every morning now. It's just like her footsteps coming down the hall. Just the thing. So cool. We could talk about that. We don't have to. Ladies and gentlemen, the Baltimore Ravens win in the Hard Bowl. Harbaugh versus Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh said, I lay my life down for my brother, but not a football game.
Hell yeah.
Okay, he's going to have to come and get it. John Harbaugh says the same exact thing about Jim. You're talking about a family that has had a lot of success and is still very, very tight with each other. I think they're still learning from each other, obviously hiring from each other. If you're good enough for one, you can obviously come work for us. We run ship the same exact way. Jack Harbaugh taught us the exact same. The fact that the Baltimore Ravens go in there and cover with 70 what?
70%.
70% of the money on them. The entire Hammer Dahn podcast picked them. The entire Monday Night Football countdown crew picked the Ravens. I was on the Ravens because A.J. Hawk and I had a one-game disparity this weekend. He picked the Chargers, so I was going to pick against him regardless. But once I started watching the game, I'm like, hold the phone. I got forced into picking the Ravens. Chargers go early, take a big lead, and then it was just like a matter of time. Now, that one, they took their time. I think they should have maybe challenged that particular one. I don't know if Mark Andrews had his right foot down, I think, with the ball bobbling. But then Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, this offense starts doing their thing. And the over hits, it was a high-scoring affair. But what happened was the Baltimore Ravens showcased once again that they can win. And that's a high school Lamar Jackson move. Yeah. We all saw number 7 from Boynton Beach. This internet clip took over the entire world. And then I think I saw this clip for a couple years and didn't know it was Lamar.
No idea.
And then somebody said, hey, this was Lamar, by the way. And it's like, oh, of course that was Lamar Jackson. And then he does it again on Monday Night Football. So almost felt like it was going to happen as he's running there in my mind. And Lamar's still doing ridiculous shit. So nonetheless, congrats to the Baltimore Ravens.
Hell yeah.
On getting a massive win over the Chargers. D-Butt, you watched that game. What's your big takeaway?
The Ravens are the Ravens. Bill said it on the show yesterday. Like, it could beat any team in the NFL by multiple touchdowns if they stay out of their own way. Now, obviously, got off to a slow start. I think up until his 2-minute drive before the half, Lamar had like 2 completions. Obviously, you saw Derrick Henry would get rolling. And I was kind of concerned, honestly, once the Chargers jumped out, because that's kind of been their MO. They jump out, they come out great, 10 points, get a 2-score lead, and then they just kind of start folding. You definitely saw they definitely need a big-time separator out at wideout. You just need that guy. And Justin Herbert, he can do so much, but you need that guy to
Quentin Johnson with 3 drops late in the fourth. Obviously, everybody's talking about him.
He had a tough night.
He had a tough night on the internet, too, and that's going to happen. Remember, he's been doing some great things for the Chargers this season thus far. I don't think a lot of people have seen that. The only things people see is with 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, you have 3 drops, and it's a 1-score game. We need you to make those type of plays. I don't think I've lost faith in the Chargers or everything that they're building, anything that they're building over there. But I do think it was nice for the Ravens to say, hey, let's remember here, okay? We were 1 punch out away at the half-yard line last year to go into the Super Bowl instead of the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, Lamar Jackson against Pittsburgh Steelers, which we just witnessed, you know, he hasn't boded well against. Lamar Jackson against the NFC, though, he's boded very well against. In teams that he doesn't get to play much, he's played very well against. So this particular team, if you think about the playoffs and everything going late, it's like maybe the Baltimore Ravens, this is the year. And you can't help but overreact that way on this particular Tuesday after watching them do that last night in the Harbaugh Bowl.
Yeah, that was kind of the big takeaway. It's like, okay, the Ravens are very legit for one, and they have a chance to go and do the entire thing. Because their defense, of course, is great. You know, D-Butt mentioned they got out the Chargers to, you know, a 10-point lead, and then they kind of settled in. No Roquan Smith, still didn't, you know, still made it happen without him. And then even after that last drive, like they did score 23 points, but really after that 10-0 lead, they shut it down. And, you know, that touchdown right there was kind of the entire thing for me is, you know, Derrick Henry goes out of the game. Derrick Henry obviously went off, especially in the second half. He really got rolling. And then it's almost like, okay, hey, Justice Hill is in. We can kind of relax a little bit. Maybe Lamar runs the ball, but if Justice Hill is in, we don't have to worry about the run game. And then, boom, he rips off a 60-yard touchdown run. So it's one of those things where they can beat you in so many different ways. Likely didn't have a massive game. He's someone that could easily go off at any time. Mark Andrews obviously had a touchdown later on. The ref called it no touchdown. Clearly a touchdown. It's very odd. I don't know if these were the same exact refs from the Sunday Night Football game as well, where they had a couple suspect calls, but it did feel as though the solidifying, like, okay, the Ravens can win in primetime, they can win when they're losing, and they are definitely a contender in the entire thing.
Yeah, and I think if you think about what you need in December and January to win, obviously make a place for your quarterback, Lamar Jackson, who is an anomaly, has been since he started playing football. I mean, he's just so fast, so quick. Boom. He's out of there. And as professional athletes, the whole thing.
A record pace right now.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Like 7 yards a play.
Yeah, so Hembo sent over a bunch of stats about this Baltimore Ravens team. One of them, though, was about the running backs. Okay, let's stay with this one. So right now, Lamar Jackson, 94th percentile in interception avoidance. Okay. Not throwing picks.
That's real. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what 94.
Easier way to say it.
Yeah, he's not throwing picks. 88th percentile in sack avoidance. He's not taking sacks. Okay. That is some mature quarterbacking. Says Hembo. Amen. Not throwing pick, not taking sacks, not having negative plays. That feels like it's a smart decision. Then the Ravens were 4-6 on 3rd and short yesterday, 77% on the season, highest in the NFL. That's the Derrick Henry effect. Let's go to the leading rushers right now in the NFL. So obviously it's all about Saquon. Saquon in the full game, he has 1,392 yards. And then just in second halves, he has 920 yards. He'd be the 4th leading rusher in the NFL. But look who's number 2 right there. Derrick Henry is the 2nd leading rusher in the NFL right now. At this age, at this time, with this team. Now, we had the reaction immediately because we've seen the Tennessee Titans.
Yep.
We've had to play against the Tennessee Titans. We've watched Derrick Henry play football. As soon as he goes to Baltimore, we go, that shouldn't be fair.
What the hell?
That should not be the matchup. And then he obviously had to hear that he was washed and that he couldn't do it anymore and that running backs were being devalued and everything like that. He goes for 140 last night, but you're talking about a safety valve for this Ravens team. Whenever they get in the game against the Chiefs last year and they forget to run the ball against the Chiefs in the playoffs, you got Derrick Henry on the team, you're not going to forget to run the ball. Like Derrick Henry is going to get the rock, you would assume. Now, at the beginning of the year, Coach Harbaugh said, we're not going to give him the ball 30, 25, 30 times a game. Then he realized Derrick Henry can get the ball 25, 30 times. And we can be in a great spot. That is the difference maker, I think, for this Ravens team versus years past. Patrick Ricard can obviously move people. I loved when J.K. Dobbins was able to play healthy there a few years back. But having Derrick Henry be the style of running back that he is and how good of a running back that he is a perfect fit for this Ravens team, but also might be the answer to their playoff needs or woes back in the day.
Yeah, that's something. Now, we know Ravens have been a physical ball club throughout Harbaugh's tenure, but they've never had a back, to your point, as dynamic as him. And all those 4th downs they went for, like 4th and 1, it was almost
it's like a tush push.
Exactly. It was as inevitable as that play. And he, just like Saquon, those second half stats, Derrick Henry throughout his career, he's weight on you. He kind of changed that Tennessee Titans franchise. Like, they became that bruiser because of 2-2 and what he's been able to do back there. I think might have been Mina Kimes in the lead-up show to Monday Night Football talking about Saquon going to Philly almost been like a KD joining the Warriors. And you could say the same thing with Derrick Henry, jumping in that backfield with Lamar.
And in terms of their playoff woes and like what they need, like if they get up 10, 13 points on someone and they're really worried about their secondary, like, hey, we don't want to get bombed on, like, they can run a ball control offense with him and just grind people out. Like, I don't think we're going to have the same situation we had in the AFC Championship where they just abandon the run because they have Derrick Henry now. Like, you're not going to abandon the run if you have Derrick Henry.
Well, and they should, because that's been their issue, is holding on to leads in the 4th quarter, and they should do that. But I believe they are undefeated when he gets 20 carries this season, which they obviously didn't last week with the Steelers. They didn't early in the season. So if you just give him 20 carries, it's almost like they're gonna win the game. And then you put Lamar on a fast track last night, like Lamar on turf. Like, again, the Ravens reminded people, we lost last week. Who cares? Like, that was a division game. It's hard to win divisions games, as we've seen this last weekend. The Ravens are still football.
Still the Ravens.
Yes, the Ravens are. I think we're realizing, the teams who are
separating.
I mean, Bill Belichick said yesterday, like, the Giants, obviously, Coughlin was about to get fired. They go on a run. The Buccaneers had Tom Brady as their quarterback. It wasn't until the bye week, I think week 11. Then they had the Atlanta Falcons after the bye week. And the only reason why we know that is because I was supposed to be on the team.
That's right.
I was supposed to be on the team.
That's right.
I should be Super Bowl champion.
Should be.
For sure.
But we did too good at managing COVID.
Didn't have the antibodies.
If I would have had the antibodies, I'm on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers against Atlanta Falcons. Wouldn't have had to do anything.
No, they beat the shit out of them, I think.
No, but also the two guys end up clearing.
Yeah,
That's
they end up
right.
playing.
That's right.
They end up playing.
That's right.
Kicker and punter both test positive for COVID on like Monday or something like that. So obviously, Bruce Arians was with the Colts, and Clyde Christensen was with the Colts, and a lot of the guys that were down there, AQ I think was down there, knew that I could kick and punt. But the whole process to get during the COVID era, you had to be like in a hotel for like 10 days or something, and then you could be part of the team. They didn't have a kicker and a punter that were in isolation in a hotel for 10 days that they could activate onto the roster. So they literally called me and were like, hey, do you have the COVID antibodies? And I go, I don't know what those are. And they say, if you've had COVID already, then you should have built up the antibodies, and there's a test to be able to prove if you've already had COVID and you have the antibodies. If you have the antibodies, we don't have to put you in a hotel for 10 days or 14 days or whatever. You could be our kicker and punter this week. And now, obviously, they would have to talk to the Colts. There would have to be an entire thing. But since I didn't have an agent, that's an A-OK conversation that's taking place in there. So remember, I came into the office, I took that antibodies test, and we just sat there for 5 minutes because that's how long it took. And it's like, am I about to be Tom Brady's teammate here if I have the antibodies or not? Didn't have the antibodies, never had COVID. And we had been working for months and months and months at that point.
Yeah.
But we literally were doing the
Socially distanced.
We were doing the social distancing.
Yeah.
We
Is
took
that
it
when you
very,
were going to Florida too?
Yeah, I was doing the NXT
We
down
didn't
there.
even talk to each other outside the show. Like we went into the studio and we talked then, but like outside of it, like in like just the
We're
normal
masked
office.
up. And,
Well,
now,
texting.
did those?
What a time.
Well,
were those?
that's the time
Lots
too, though.
coming out.
You know?
People say no.
We weren't even looking at each other. 'Cause
Yeah,
remember, that
exactly.
was the whole like, hey, it can go eyeball to eyeball.
We were wearing steel
contacts.
And they were talking about deliveries coming on cardboard boxes or whatever.
Dousing them with cleaner.
We had Dilfer's
The
machine.
Trent Dilfer
Yeah.
spray, yeah.
We were what was it? A necessary? I forget what it was because
Evil.
we were a Well, some people felt that way. Certainly,
Still do.
Now, granted, I don't know with the new information coming out. I wonder if we are still fascinating. We'll be excited to see how that whole thing works out.
We need a scoreboard.
We do, don't we?
We need a scoreboard.
That's why sports are the greatest. But all those things we had to literally cover and talk about. So it's like we were right in the middle of all of it.
We had COVID-19 on the line.
No, we had COVID-18.
Yeah, no,
Younger
you're right.
brother.
You're right.
Yeah,
Excuse
COVID.
me. You're right.
Which we had no idea.
Yeah, that one might have been a little.
We had no idea what was coming. Anyways, we made it. We all did.
We did.
Oh, yeah.
We made it. We
Congrats,
survived
everybody.
it. I'm happy we did that. Speaking of surviving, which college teams survived a chaotic weekend and still are going to be projected to be in the college football playoff bracket? And which college teams sealed their fate as teams that aren't going to be dancing in the 12-team playoff? Ooh. Joining us now to tell us all those answers and more, ladies and gentlemen, college football pundit on ESPN, analyst and expert, Heather Dinich.
Yeah.
How are you, Heather?
Thank you. How are you guys?
Fantastic. Thank you for joining us. We chit-chatted at the beginning of the show about how every time you come on our show, it is, hey, you move the needle, Heather. We want to thank you. We want to thank you for that. Legit. You stir a lot of conversations, and it helps me out a lot because I get a lot of people's perspective, from different places. What have we learned, or what do you think we're going to learn from tonight's college football playoff rankings? Do we think strength of schedule is going to matter more? Do we think football judgment's going to matter? Do we think wins, losses? What do you think tonight is going to indicate to the entire college football world, Heather?
Well, I think it will indicate just how seriously the selection committee is going to take 3-loss SEC teams. How far is Alabama down in the rankings after losing in brutal fashion to Oklahoma? But at the same time, you've got an Indiana team that could be ranked ahead of them that doesn't have any wins against any ranked opponents and came up woefully short in its only chance this whole season to impress the college football playoff selection committee. So that's a combination of eye test versus resume, and we'll see how they blend that together between the Alabama and Indianas of it all.
Okay, so Alabama and Indiana, obviously a focal point for this evening. I think a fascinating thing is you can't project the conference champions, obviously, but you even mentioned it in one of your tweets. If Texas A&M beats Texas this upcoming weekend, they're in the conference championship against Georgia. So all of a sudden now the loser of the SEC championship game is definitely going to have 3 losses. Are they both going to get in? We would assume yes if you make it to the SEC championship with how the college football playoff committee has put a stress on conference championships. Like, hey, we want you to win conference championships. You'll get a bye. You get obviously a higher seed if you win a championship, even if you don't have it in our tournament. What do you think the thoughts are on that situation brewing? And what if Texas loses to Texas A&M next week? They don't really have any big-time wins on their schedule. I love Sark. I love the roster. I love everything like that. But their schedule is going to be at a point where lose to Georgia, lose to Texas A&M, and then what? Nothing really else. So that game has massive implications, I think, for precedent for the college football playoff, Heather.
Massive implications. But, people are losing their minds about the possibility that a 3-loss SEC team can get into the college football playoff. But just step back for a second. I'm going to give you 3 very realistic scenarios as to how that can happen. And you mentioned the first. Georgia loses to Texas in the SEC championship game. They're a 3-loss team. I think they're in. Why? Because the selection committee is going to talk around the table and say this team has a regular season win against the SEC champs. That matters in that room, just like it would if Ohio State and Oregon, assuming they play in the Big Ten Conference Championship game, and Oregon loses to Ohio State. They say, well, they're in. They have a win against the Big Ten champs. So there's that. If Texas A&M, by some miracle, wins the SEC, there's a 3-loss SEC champ that's in there. And the third realistic scenario is Alabama is not completely out of the mix, which goes back to the first part of our conversation. All it takes is one upset, like Notre Dame losing to USC, gasp, and Alabama's back in the conversation if they're not already in it tonight.
Dropping gasp into the line was fantastic there, because that would be a big old gasp.
Big time.
I mean, that would be a big gasp if that was to take place. How about Indiana-Purdue? Obviously, we know Indiana's going to take care of Purdue.
Hell yeah.
Heather.
I got you.
Hey, that's scary. That is a scary thing in this state, knowing that if Purdue wins this game, it does not matter. Nothing else matters.
30-point favorites.
From the 29, I think, it's 29 and a half or something like that. Purdue fans would be A-okay with their second win of the season only being, and then just roll right into basketball season.
That's right, no doubt.
And then how we get, I mean, that is a scary situation for the Indiana Hoosiers fresh off of this. Hopefully they bounce back in a massive way, but that is no cakewalk, depending upon how you look at Purdue. Now, let's talk about another conference that could potentially be dancing with a couple partners. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, Heather, we just talked about the SEC title game and the implications that has. Now, what about the ACC title game? Let's assume, I saw your projected bracket for tonight, and SMU and Miami are both in. Let's assume they take care of business this weekend, so they would both probably still be in before going to the ACC title game. In that situation, you can't punish the loser of the ACC title game, right, between Miami and SMU. Would they still both be in, or do you think the loser of the ACC title game could be out?
As long as those two teams are in the top 10 tonight, which I think they have a good chance to be, I think the chances increase significantly of the ACC runner-up continuing to be in. But I will say this. On Saturday, watch the Georgia Tech game, because that's a common opponent with Miami. And Miami's loss is to Georgia Tech, and the committee considers common opponents. If Georgia absolutely steamrolls Georgia Tech somehow, that would give the committee a window to at least separate those teams even further and drop Miami down further. I'm not sure how that could impact that discussion if Miami were the loser of the ACC championship game.
Obviously, anytime you provide people with reasons to leave you out, that opens the door for everybody else. The ACC was pumped to see what happened in the SEC, I assume. In the Big Ten, Indiana was very happy to see what happened in the SEC this past weekend, right? We're all agreeing on that?
Yeah, I mean, listen, when that game between Indiana and Ohio State ended, my bracket projection had Indiana out.
Yeah.
Out. Yeah. And then Alabama and Ole Miss lost, and I put them back in. And then I'm watching quadruple overtime, and I've got the Aggies in if they were to win that game. So, yeah, everything is hanging on and watching these other results, and it's amazing how it's all tied together.
So that quadruple overtime game we're watching on ESPN, that F1 announcement down there in highlighted yellow.
Needed it.
Man.
Needed it.
Different color, though. Yeah. I thought there was a flag on every play. I'm watching the play, then I see the yellow in the corner. That was, hey, they say Jordan Hare is a haunted place.
Mm-hmm.
Saban said that. Saban said that at dinner. He was like, we're up 7-0. 5 times we get to the red zone or the 10-yard line. We don't score a point. Tell me how that happens. Then he thinks that a ghost potentially. I haven't asked him, but I would assume he would say a ghost is the one that batted that ball out of his hands.
Sure.
On that 2-point try. That's basically what he said. We had a block kick, a missed kick. How's that both happen in the same game? I don't know. And then interception, turnover. He was like, that place is impossible to play down there. Obviously, Alabama, Auburn, different story because of the Iron Bowl or whatever the case. But like, if old buddy can get it going down there in Auburn, I think that is like considered. The GOAT says, that's a place I don't want to play any football. Mike Elko is going to be saying forever, that's a place I don't want to play football. Why isn't Auburn?
That's a good question.
Why is it,
They always say their boosters are very, very, they got their hands on a lot of things in there. It makes it hard.
They got basketball going.
They said that at Texas, too, for a long time, didn't they? They said that at Texas as well for a long time.
Auburn is a tough place to coach because there's a lot of cooks who want to be in the kitchen there, for sure.
Okay. All right, so thank you for the insight.
That stinks.
All right, is Tim Apple one of them? Isn't Tim Cook?
Yeah, he's an alum.
He's a War Eagle guy.
He's probably got ideas. Need virtual reality
Yeah.
all day, walking around. Ty has a question for you, Heather.
Heather, based on your projections, we have a couple rematches in terms of Big Ten teams and SEC teams, but obviously they can't do much because the rankings will be what the rankings are. But do you think the committee is going to try to avoid having two Big Ten teams play each other in the first round and two SEC teams playing each other in the first round so we can get some like diverse matchups that we might not otherwise get?
No, they will not do that. They won't try to avoid any rematches. There will be no reseeding. And guys, let me tell you something. Every week I have done this for the past 13 weeks. And every single week there's not one matchup on here where I'm like, oh man, I don't want to see that game. I want Indiana and Penn State to settle it on the field. I love that matchup because of these supersized conferences and no divisions. Indiana doesn't play Penn State. They don't play Oregon. So how does that work itself out? And Tennessee would have to go to Georgia again? Listen, I'm all for it. Sign me up.
Yeah. Okay, I'm happy you are. And I appreciate that. But I don't want an extension of play-in games from the conference.
Me neither.
Now, granted, they have to respect their rankings.
Sure.
Of course.
They are how they are. I want to see a Big Ten school go to the SEC.
Yeah.
Because all the conversation about the SEC, it's different down here. And I want to see an SEC school go to the Big Ten.
I think that should be a stipulation moving forward. The higher-ranked SEC team gets the Big Ten. Yeah, exactly. And then the higher-ranked Big Ten team, an SEC school has to go travel up north.
Yeah, I think they should make that a rule.
Be sweet.
That would suck for that SEC team.
I was thinking about that.
No, because I've heard these SEC places are.
Oh, they want to go up and play in 40 degrees?
Cold.
Whoa. What about 110,000?
Yeah.
Raging Cajuns, brothers
down there.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what they talk about, though.
I mean, that's what's going to make this playoff so great because we are going to get some of those matchups.
I hope. That's what we're hoping.
Yeah,
maybe.
For sure.
We are hoping for that. I think that's what we're hoping. Go ahead, Heather.
I was talking to Ryan Day before his game last week, and he told me it might snow for last week's game. And I was watching Steelers and Cleveland, and that's exactly what I was thinking. Give me that snow in Columbus, Ohio for first round.
With an SEC school coming up there.
Tennessee going up there.
Bingo. So, and hey, Tennessee even has a little chilly part, right? They got mountains down there in Tennessee, so that's all good. But that would settle the whole, because that is a loud combo right now.
Oh, yeah.
This is the hardest place to play.
We saw Saban on that set at Ohio State. He was cold. He was cold.
That's what I'm saying.
I think that's what the North says. You guys might be able to have 115,000 people all drive to one town because it's nice and warm. Come on up here when we can't drive to the stadium because it's frozen. That's the added weapon.
Do you worry, though, that teams will then say, like, well, if this wasn't a home game and there wasn't weather like this, then we would have won like George Pickens did after the Steelers lost to the Browns? And then they say, okay, well, then fine. You're right. We need to go play this at a indoor stadium somewhere close by maybe.
Listen, I am punter, kicker, dome, everything. But in the SEC Big Ten conversation, it's always like, this is the hardest place to play. They're not taking into account, like,
the elements.
It's 5 degrees up here.
Yeah.
Getting warm, getting loose.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Everything like that. I think that is the equalizer.
Like the Peach Bowl game we saw a couple years ago, C.J. Stroud gets that Georgia team. Like, Georgia has to go to Ohio State and play that game. Like, it's a complete different ball game.
That's what I worry about, though, is that happens.
That's
it is
football,
it is a different football game, and then the committee says, "Well, you're right. You know what? We can't do these home games anymore because of that."
Oh no, that's a part of it.
That's what I'm worried
That's why you
about.
lift all these weights.
I agree.
That's why you run all these
hills. Think how they think, maybe.
Yeah,
Come to NFL.
13 people.
Come to NFL.
No, hey, listen, Man, I can't wait to present that to Coach Saban. Coach Saban, I think what the North would say is, you guys might have more people in Loud, and it's crazy. There's a live tiger there. But we can't have a live tiger up here. You know why?
He'll die of frostbite.
Dead. He'll be a dead tiger. Okay, let's talk about cold game. The game this weekend. Ryan Day actually came out on an Ohio State show, and he said this about the game against Michigan.
We've felt what it's like to not win this game, and it's bad. It's one of the worst things that's happened to me in my life, quite honestly. Other than losing my father and a few other things, it's quite honestly, for my family, the worst thing that's happened. So we can never have that happen.
Listen, these Ohio people are fucking insane.
Nuts.
Okay? I lose to Michigan. It has made my life terrible. So, yeah, this is the worst thing. So my dad passed. My family and I both. He adds family in there, too, because they got experience in the neighborhood, in the community, as well as they're going out there. That win over Indiana was huge for Ryan Day and Ohio State. And obviously going into Michigan, what are your thoughts on Ryan Day as the coach of Ohio State Buckeyes, Heather?
Well, I've talked to him multiple times in his office about the pressure that comes with this game. But, I mean, he's right. He can't lose, especially this year. Everyone knows this. There's zero reason. Michigan has tried every quarterback on its roster and then some, not working. The only reason for concern in this game is how good Michigan is up front defensively, I think, and with Ohio State banged up a little bit on the offensive line, how that matchup fares. But the reality is Ohio State is better. This should not be a close game. And, Ryan Day knows this. He knows the expectations. And I said this even before going into this season, that Michigan was probably a 4-loss team. And here we are. What do they have? 5 losses now?
Jeez.
This is redemption mode here for Ryan Day.
Well, Michigan hurt a lot of people's strength of schedule because of how they've played this year. Like Indiana, Michigan would have been a good win for them, but instead it wasn't. They were able to handle that front, but it was a very, very close game. So you would assume Ohio State would be able to do that. I think it's a 21-point spread, which only adds the pressure to Ryan Day.
Yeah.
That only adds to the entire conversation, just like it was 13.5 with Indiana. 13.5, Ryan Day and Ohio State people were thinking of him like, yeah, you guys better win this thing by multiple scores. And they did. And he put a little foot on the gas at the end of that thing, Heather. Is that a mindset there from Ryan Day? What do you think that message was to his team?
Oh, that message was leave no doubt that we're the better team. He came on and he said that. There was absolutely a mindset. And I'm sure that deep inside, he wanted to prove that Indiana was probably not as good as its ranking until it played some more elite competition. So, yes, certainly a mindset. I expect him to bring it into the Michigan game. But what is so amazing to me is that as long as I've been covering college football here at ESPN, that has been the game. It has been one of the games, if not the game, with the biggest impact this weekend on the college football playoff. And that is not the case. This is about Ryan Day and the rivalry and all of that, right? But Texas A&M is one of the most intriguing playoff games. And so to be having that conversation and not even really talking about Michigan is just in a way surreal given what they were a year ago.
That's why all their alums said, we're coming together to get a quarterback.
Yep.
Yeah. We're not doing this. We aren't doing this for another year. No way in hell. This is not who we are supposed to be. Texas A&M playoff game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. So we already got one down there. And I guess they don't like each other.
Hate each other.
A lot of the traditions from both of the schools are against each other.
Okay.
So I didn't know that
Me either.
at all. I had no idea. And I guess it used to be a great rivalry, and then they stopped it. Obviously, you go to the SEC. They're in the Big 12. But I guess the Texas people, I guess, and the Texas A&M people, I guess there's a natural distaste for each other.
Us growing up, they always played Thanksgiving night, I believe.
Big
Could
one.
be wrong, or maybe the Friday after Thanksgiving is what I remember.
They don't like each other, I guess. It's going to be electrifying down there. I hope it's not as humid as it was.
Can't be.
No way.
With how terrible it's been up here, you probably wouldn't mind a little heat.
I'll tell you what, I'm okay. Give me last Friday over. You know how cold I was
Last Friday, yeah.
Ohio State, yeah.
You
Sure.
take that over.
I would take that over 100% humidity or whatever it is now. 1 million times out of 1 million times. I didn't get pneumonia. Didn't kill me. I didn't get sick from it. So that's good. The shit It drains me. I get headaches. I'm tired. I'm uncomfortable. Obviously, socks get soggy because the sweat's all running down there. So now I'm walking in soggy socks. And that's immediately getting outside. So that's 4 seconds into life.
Yeah.
And then you got to do the rest of the day. Can't do it. I don't know how people do it.
That's how the SEC boys feel about going up north this time.
Bingo. I think it is quite a disadvantage for me to go down there and do the complete opposite. Going like when I see you wearing hoodies and shit down there in South Florida whenever we were down there.
That's crazy.
I was almost sick. I didn't know how you were able to handle. I honestly had no idea.
Get used to it.
I don't, though. That's the thing. I think I would die if I was to live down there.
You get used to it.
You see how quick I burn, too. I mean, I'm the color of that jersey within.
That's true, but you'll get used to it. Let your pores breathe. Good for your hair, good for your skin.
That's why everybody retires down there. It's so nice. Which, once again, what an advantage the cold is for the Big Ten. Nobody's talking about it.
Exactly.
All right, Heather, we appreciate the hell out of you. Thank you for joining us. Before we let you go, massive name in college football.
Yeah, just brought up Texas, former national champ, Mac Brown. He was relieved of his duty. Saw Pete Thamels, the authorities, tweet on that. Want to know why they did it now instead of after the season, and how coveted is that UNC job?
That is a great question as to why they did it now, especially going into the last game of the season. And I want to say a day after Mac Brown said that he wasn't going to retire. Yeah. So I don't have the answer to that. How coveted is that job? It's good, but it's not great.
Whoa,
right?
Jeez. You were at a loss for words right there. You were like, I don't know. Yeah, it was a gap.
I don't know how I'm going to say
I don't want to. You were trying to figure out how to.
Well, I'm trying. Listen, I'm a nice person. I don't. Harsh words don't.
Got good Jordan swag.
Yeah.
Got great Jordan deal.
They do.
Yeah. Cool colors.
Great unis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mascot's cool.
Listen, we're not talking about basketball here. We're talking about football. And I think that when you're trying to compete with the recruiting of the Clemsons and Miamis of the world, and, as bad as Florida State has been this year, even Florida State, there's a lot of catching up to do, it feels like, to right the ship. Can you win there? Absolutely, you can. It is a great school. It's a great academic school. But there's a lot of work to do, right? So it's not like you're walking into a program that is set to compete at the top of the ACC. That's my point. There's a lot of work that has to be done.
So go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, in the era of NIL, and you're competing against schools like the SEC, all of these jobs become more difficult. I can't tell you how many coaches have told me in the ACC, we put so much time and effort into these recruits, and then somebody else with more money just comes in and sweeps them out.
Come on, get stuff.
Don't be a fool.
You want a McDouble with cheese? Extra cheese? Emphasis on the cheese? That is a real deal. But what about this ruling that's coming April the 8th, I believe, of 2025 from a judge that is going to inevitably enact a salary cap? I think it's 22% of the overall net revenue of, I think it's stadium, everything that takes place. It's going to be about $21 million per school, D1 school. 16 is the expected or projected amount of millions that'll go towards the football team. That's going to be like a regulated salary cap that all D1 schools are going to have, the exact same. Do you think that potentially makes any job enticing that's in D1 if you at least have a little bit of cash to battle with? Or do you think the NIL stuff that's going to be outside of it is still going to reign supreme probably in these particular contests?
Yeah, I think until we know exactly what it looks like on paper and who's getting what, and most importantly, how you enforce this, right? Keyword enforce this, to me is one of the most interesting things that will help answer all those questions. I'm certainly not going to sit here and pretend to know the answers to it, but I mean, there even athletic directors that I talked to as of like yesterday are still trying to figure it out.
Enforcing it is hilarious to think about. Yeah. Did you spend $21 million or $22 million? You tell me.
I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't remember. You do the audit. So who's going to run through all the books? Oh, my God. We got more problems coming. Yeah. All right. College football is awesome. We can't thank you enough for joining us, Heather.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, the hallway's been bumping. I don't know. I've seen some different meals coming down.
Lunchtime.
Yeah. I've seen a couple people just kind of moseying. and then noticing, oh no, and then walking this way. There's been quite a little show, a parade over there. Where are you at? Are you up at ESPN?
Yeah, I'm at ESPN, but the green room was crowded, so I moved out here.
Well, I appreciate you doing that. We got a sweet snowboarder on here.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Who's that, Sean White?
Is that a Bob Ross painting too down there with those trees?
Yeah. 3D.
Or is that a picture? That's a picture?
Looks like he's coming out of the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's snowboarder.
Who is it? Do you know who it is? Is that the Flying Tomato?
I haven't done my X Games homework for the show. I'm sorry.
Thank you. College football expert, ladies and gentlemen, Heather Dinich.
Heather.
I wonder if that's the Flying Tomato.
It's got to be.
That looks like
Who else would it be?
Yeah. How many did he win? All of them.
All of
Yeah.
them.
Was he a skateboarder too?
No. Maybe
Yes.
I think he
maybe
dabbled.
later
Yeah.
in life, but didn't like.
He won gold medals there too, I believe.
Yeah, I think then he went full time snowboard.
What a beast.
Yeah, and then remember he made his own half pipe up in the mountains. It was a secret mountain.
Yeah.
That was
Had
sweet.
people sign NDAs.
Yeah, if you're going to come up and watch what the Flying Tomatoes about to pull out, you're going to have to never talk about it. Taking helicopters into that.
Yeah.
That's Sean White we're talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
Botch.
Flying tomato.
I feel good about that.
Hey,
Feel good about that.
X Games?
Feel good about that.
Hey, did you watch any X Games growing up?
No, I know who Sean White is.
Tony Hawk?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, no.
Sal
I had
Mascala.
games.
Sal
Tony Hawk video
Mascala.
games.
Sal Mascala's dog, kind
The
of the
goat.
voice of
Bob
X Games.
Burnquist.
Yeah, no, these guys.
Rob,
Sean,
what's
no
the
Tony.
biker?
Matt Hoffman,
Great
Yeah.
dog.
Dave Mira.
Mira.
There it
it
is,
is.
Mira.
Mira
All right,
is the
there
guy.
Did he have his
What?
He had his own bikes, right?
How'd he die? Don't
Rest
say
in
it.
Probably
Don't
not
say
something we
it.
want to get into.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace. Thank you, X Games. X Games had a hell of a run.
I didn't know he died.
Me neither, and I don't want to talk about it. I don't know. I'm going to plead. We did not.
Let's move on.
We watched the X Games.
That sucks.
We watched the X Games.
Unless he's a bad guy.
I don't know if you saw this. The field goal that the Green Bay Packers had against the Chicago Bears, the block, was deemed 100% legal.
Yep.
We didn't really get a chance to
knew
talk
it.
about that as much. 100% legal, all good. Don't know why everybody isn't doing it. But it was reported by, I believe, I think it was Chicago newspaper reporter, maybe Green Bay, whoever the case. The NFL told the Bears that, nothing, sorry about it, everything was legal. So double push, double barrel, up the gut. If you line up properly and time it up at the right time, I think you could block more kicks. I do believe this is going to make the life of long snappers much worse. Okay, and I don't think it's anywhere near as bad as what long snappers' lives used to be like. Long snappers' lives used to be just torture, actual. Hey, need you to snap it perfectly, laces and everything. But then also there's going to be two dudes that are about 300 pounds each average. They'll be lined up on both shoulder. Okay, and good news for you, it's not just them. Behind them, there will be a linebacker on each guy. That's like 240. This is big time. This is back whenever linebackers used to be big. 240, 250. And they're gonna have their hands on the asses of these D tackles. And their job is just to bobsled team, push through you. So these long snappers have their heads down, neck down. As soon as they snap it, you got 300, then 250 on the backside, all pushing on both shoulders, and you're just getting demolished every single time. So much so that the rules committee actually came together and were like, we're staring down an inevitable massive lawsuit with what's going on this particular play. So they changed the rules. I think they changed them too much, I think is what people probably thought, just like what happened with this kickoff and everything. So now they're back to, I think you can, but you can't line up directly over, can't line up with a tush push apparently is kind of the take. But if in the play it happens that you end up on the shoulder and somebody ends up pushing you and you end up getting through, like that's a good play. So now at least we know. Yeah. Because special teams guy, I don't think anybody really knew what iteration of the rule are we at. So whenever we're talking about IAS, I'm like, I don't know if Bears fans should be happy about this. I have no idea. Because obviously they tried to make rules in the past that have kind of stopped it. But if Bisaccia was able to figure out the big push,
he would.
I mean, that's a great design then. If this is within the rules, which is what special teams coordinators are always trying to do, they're trying to figure out how to just kind of maneuver within the rule book a little bit. And then if they get caught, it's almost like a badge of honor because a rule was added because of something that you outsmarted in the special teams world. That's kind of how it is. So like Bisaccia figuring this out, monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah.
Copycat league. This is what it's going to be. And then there's been Commanders block one off the side too, coming in from the side. It's like there's been an assault almost on field goals. It's like I think teams are getting very confident that they can block them. That's a change of. That's a turnover. That's a pick six almost waiting to happen, guaranteed.
The Bears had another one blocked, I think.
Yeah, Vikings blocked it this weekend.
And I don't know. I can't remember what the technique was or if they tried using the Packers technique or whatever, but the Bears, they got blocked again.
Yeah, it was up the middle.
Similar situation. So already the monkey see, monkey do situation could be happening.
And it was, like Basat just said, like that was – that wasn't like a happy accident. Like that was the plan, was to do exactly what they did. So like you've talked about with Mitt's dad a bunch, just like scout and special teams coordinators at large, just scouring the rule book to like be like, okay, yep, that's not in there. Let's go ahead and let's take advantage of this. So I would assume Basaccia, was just up all night and he found it and he said, okay, here's it. And then he looked at the film. He said, because we talked about it, he was like, hey, if we don't block a kick tomorrow, like I'm gonna be beside myself.
Yeah, that's it's almost like special teams government. And I know you saw the Raiders.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
AJ Cole had quite a game.
He did.
Threw an absolute dime.
Great fake.
Absolute dime. Great fake. And then he also pinned the team within the 5. Mm-hmm. Specialists are having some good years.
Yeah, and then Turpin. I mean, we showed it yesterday. The Turpin return was asinine.
He's going to be Pro Bowl returner. Already.
No
you
doubt.
Kind of slot that one down as Pro Bowl returner. Turpin getting in there. Obviously, we've seen him at a lesser league. This is phenomenal. Let me run through. Go ahead. Real quick. Yeah. Remember, the hang time of the kick doesn't matter.
Yeah, it might be the strategy now. Like, hey, muff it a little. Get those guys closer.
Yes, and D-Bot, the only reason why I say that is because nobody's allowed to start moving until ball's touched, right? Or until ball touches the ground.
Right.
So whatever the case is. So, like...
the height, okay.
Yeah, so the height doesn't... Like, shit balls are kind of getting rewarded. If you're able to hit a squib that lands within the 20-yard line... Like, that's the best kick. Aubrey from Dallas had been doing that all season. I think they just tried to do that there. Turpin clearly did not scoop it up right the first time. Mm-hmm. No panic.
Didn't matter.
Why did he not panic? Well, because he can literally just do a dead leg in the middle of a football game.
Yeah, 0 to 60.
It's not a backyard football game. That is a NFL game right there.
I think you mentioned it. I'm not sure if it was you or Bill, but like that bobble kind of just slows the guys down. And all these touchbacks now, I know when we were playing like in the meeting room, you almost get like a loaf or a minus if you didn't run through the end zone. Now watching games, and like half the guys don't run through the end zone.
They don't even move.
Yeah, so many touchbacks, so they're running, they're jogging, and now you get a guy like this where it always only takes one guy. I think here was the third guy in. He went in, lost leverage, and boom, out the gate. Right there. Boom.
58.
Out of there.
That's all you need on kickoffs. Mm-hmm. You just need 2 people that are next to each other to not be on the same page. And then bang, gone. Which is why the NFL wants to save kickoff returns.
Yep.
Because any one of them can change the trajectory of a game. How about changing the trajectory of somebody's life? Okay? Mm-hmm. That happened this weekend after the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Carolina Panthers. We showed the video earlier. A Kansas City Chiefs fan, a young man, was looking to get a glove or an autograph, snuck by security, got to the point where there's no rail somehow, falls and is caught by a superstar. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is the man who I believe gave his glove to, but also changed that kid's life forever because I think he was going head down.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, D-tackle for the Kansas City Chiefs, Tershawn Wharton.
Yeah, Tershawn.
What's up, man?
How you doing?
Hey, life is good. Congrats on being a 2-time Super Bowl champion. Congrats on playing the most amount of plays that you've played in your 5-year career this season. And congrats on being 10-1. Now, we appreciate you taking time out of this. Whenever you see this kid falling, do you remember what you were thinking? Did you not think? Was it just natural reaction? Can you go through this moment for us a little bit here from your side?
I'd say it was natural reaction. Usually when I lead a game, try to throw my gloves in the crowd. And I think I heard my name a little bit. And when I heard my name, I seen them coming down. It was 2 security guards right there. I don't think they realized what I was doing because they were looking at us. But I just had to kind of like push him into the stands a little bit to make sure he didn't hit too hard.
So what was it? It was a one-handed grab, snag of what, like his shirt, his shoulder? How did you go about, honestly? Because we don't have the other view. We can't see the other side.
It's like I kind of grabbed him right by the back of his back and kind of like pushed him into it a little bit, pushed him into the stands a little bit more.
That's awesome. Hey, have you got a chance to meet this kid since this time?
I haven't, but I would like to reach out to him, get him out to a game, and be able to reflect with him a little bit more if I could.
Hell yeah, I think that's the exact reason why we should do this. Yeah, I hope this happens. I hope this connection takes place. How are you feeling, other than obviously catching a child falling from a balcony, which is out of a movie after a game in there? How do you feel over there? Feels like Spags' defense has you guys ready to roll against anybody. Does it feel different than last year, same as last year? What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, every year is a different team. You know, we feel like we could always be better. Feel like we haven't played our complete game on both sides of the ball yet. So, you know, we always working through things, and we're ready to continue to get rolling this Friday.
Yeah, you guys are continuing to win. What do you think it is about your team that just makes you guys win these games? Because there's some stat coming out about 7 of your last 8 playoff games, I think, were all one-score games. A lot of your wins over this run have been one-score games. There's a lot of stats about that. What do you think it is about your particular team that makes you guys win those close games as opposed to teams that don't?
I think we fight hard. You know, it's emphasized to be all 3 phases here. That's offense, defense, and special teams. And, you know, we're just trying to find a way every week. And when those moments called, anybody who numbers called, they go out and achieve.
Hell yeah. Well, we appreciate you so much for joining us. Hopefully you and the young man get a chance to hang out at a Chiefs game. And good luck the rest of the way. We appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Hell yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, potential lifesaver.
Yeah, hero.
Tershawn Wharton.
Tershawn.
That was cool.
Yeah, incredible.
That was wild. I hope they do get a chance to meet up. That was kind of
Yeah.
the idea behind this was hopefully they get a chance to chit-chat. Family, potentially, I would assume, would want to say. Because we would like to say to the young lad, I mean, that's potentially one of us with how we operate, you know? Trying to do that thing, accidentally fall, and it's like, let's learn our lesson from this. Okay, let's definitely learn our lesson. Be aware of our surroundings a little bit. But also, kid's a dog.
Yeah.
This kid is a dog, you know? Like
Go back to school after the break.
Yeah.
Awesome. You guys see me. That was a potential. Just the Jay Leno situation.
Well, yeah, or worse.
Well,
depending where he's at. So hopefully Mr. Wharton and young blonde lad get a chance to meet up at a Chiefs game.
And for Tepper, let's close those corners because I assume all the corners. I don't know what the strategy is there, but that was almost like a Commanders. You remember the Commanders? They almost killed Jalen Hurts a few years ago. It's like, hey, those corners of the stadium, very important, especially for these kids.
Yeah, especially if it's a tunnel where players are going to be walking.
Yeah.
Once again, that's not on Tepper didn't build that stadium.
No, I know.
But also, hey, can we get? I don't know if the guardrail helps as much. That little rail that wasn't there. I don't know if it saves the entire situation, but I think it would have to help.
Yeah, for sure.
It would have to help there. I mean, how is there a
kid
ladder there? Is there a ladder to get there? It looks like it is like on purpose.
That security guard was ready to just turn around and run up the stairs too. If something would have happened to
Everybody
that
back
kid.
up. Yeah, because that's directly on him.
Is that the kid's first time on a ledge too?
Well, he was. I think he thought he had good base, and then his foot slipped.
Yeah, it's
His foot
excited.
slipped.
He's excited. The Chiefs just won on a walk-off field goal.
Hey, don't lose your moxie, kid. Now, granted, we can't do that again.
Yeah.
But I like him going to get it, you know? I like any kid that's going to go. I mean, he was trying to get it.
Make an effort.
A little bit too much. We got to learn about that.
He's
Let's rein it in, but let's still go get it.
Sure.
And also, shout out to Tershawn.
Hell yeah.
That was a great
Yeah. Boom.
right place, right time. We tried to get another angle from his side, so we could only kind of guess what happened down there. Thanks for clearing. Back in the
Yep.
Squish him.
How about the security guys being like, "Wow,
Yeah. What we do?
it's out of a movie."
Yeah, it is.
What is his height and weight? He's D tackle for the Chiefs.
Yeah, big son of a bitch.
I bet you he's gigantic.
It's like 280, I think.
Is that the perfect guy to be walking at that time? Let me just go ahead and boom. Let me go ahead and lock this thing in.
Yeah, 6'1",
All right. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. Aaron Rodgers Tuesday on the other side of this break. We'll see you then. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the commissioner of the NFL. Don't listen to them. No. Roger, good. Shut your mouth. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us. You're our commissioner. Don't worry about these bums. From us to you, we'd like to give you a gift that we know you're a big fan of. Ladies and gentlemen, some peanut M&Ms for our commission.
This is just why we're on set?
Yep. You can take these with you. You can take them home.
I might just I got a gift for you. What? Oh. You ready?
Yeah, I like that.
We're the 222nd pick in the 2009 NFL Draft.
Hell yeah.
The Indianapolis Colts select Pat McAfee, Hunter, West Virginia.
Hell yeah.
Come on there, baby.
Good pick.
Thank you, Raj. I'll pick him up. Thank you, Raj. I'm not going to pick you up because you got that
That's
back.
all right.
Yeah.
I got it. There's your card, baby. That's real.
That's awesome.
I've been keeping that for, 15 years?
You had it in your back pocket this whole time. This is cool. Thank you for this. So whenever we say that you have to answer to 31 billionaires, how accurate is that?
32. Well, you're not counting Green Bay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Doesn't count.
Big pop. There's a Green Bay Packers.
I didn't know he did.
Yeah, no, that was.
I don't actually think that way. I actually think I answer to them. I think I answer to the media partners. I think I answer the players. I think I answer to the owners too. The idea for me is to try to keep everyone happy. I always say that my biggest job is not to piss off more than 24 owners in a given day.
How did you know the draft would be awesome if you traveled it, and did you see this happening?
I'd be kidding you if I thought it was going to be as big as it is. We felt like we could be bigger than we were in Radio City. But what happened is Radio City actually put a holiday show in and said, you can't have the draft until June. And that's when we said, we're out of here.
So they
And
kicked you out?
That's when we went on the road.
Well, Taylor Swift, we know.
Well, that's a different kind of influence.
How about, hey, listen, a lot of jokes from
They're
me.
booing Taylor Swift.
Yeah, you can't boo.
They're idiots.
Yeah, you're going to be a part of an album.
Wow.
Do it. Get a little louder. She is going to cook you. A lot of the internet was saying Roger Goodell was sitting at home through the moon about this.
Well, they thought it was part of the script.
Yes, then he went on to it. There it is. Is there a thought of adding another one, maybe adding another bye week, or are we good at 17 right now?
Well, I think we're good at 17 now, but listen, we're looking at how we continue. I'm not a fan of the preseason. I don't think we need preseason.
Waste of time, right? And energy.
I don't buy it, and I don't think these guys like it either.
Well, they have to spend full price for the tickets for those games.
No, they're actually discounted now. So
Thank you for doing that.
I'd rather replace a preseason game with a regular season any day. That's just picking quality, right? If we got to 18-2, that's not an unreasonable thing. The other thing it does, which I thought you were going to, is that ends up on President's Day weekend, which is a 3-day weekend, which makes the Sunday night, and then you have Monday off. So that's
wow.
Now we're cooking.
See,
now we're cooking.
Did you talk to the president about having the money?
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people. Happy Thanksgiving week, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, November 26, 2024. Our two starts now. Football is awesome. We're lucky to talk about it every single day. The Talks the Tables here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Boston hockey hat, Celtic shirt. We're feeling good about this offseason coming up, huh?
Oh, feeling fantastic. Sacco and the boys, of course, too.
How is Coach Sacco?
Coach Sacco's doing well. We got a big road victory over the Detroit Red Wings this weekend. Easy dub, but still a dub. 2-0, undefeated with Sacco. And, of course, the Celtics last night with Porzingis back. I'm very worried about the NBA not meaning a goddamn thing until the NBA Finals because of the fact that they are unbeatable. They scored 51 points in the second quarter last night.
Who did they lose to, though? They lost to somebody, didn't they?
I can't remember because it was probably a decade ago. Oh, yeah.
Golden State.
Yeah, we lost to Golden State. We lost to the Pacers. That's what you're getting at.
You lost to the Pacers?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, don't look now.
Yeah.
Tyrese back. Okay,
Yeah,
Halliburton
awesome.
is all the way back, which is good news. And baby Ty.
Oh, yeah.
Good work.
Oh, baby Ty. Happy to hear that. All right, one half of the hammer.
Dahn.
Cowboys AP Tone is here. AP Tone, you took the Ravens last night. So did 70% of the public. How often have we hit on these now, that a majority of the money is on one particular team? Because I saw Monday Night Football Countdown show, even including Stephen A. Smith, Hey, he looked cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
ordered everything he had on.
Yeah, absolutely, immediately. You know, and that's the thing with the future. I think we'll be able to watch TV and just point at something like, hey, his glasses look sweet. How do I go about getting those glasses? And then just a link pops up, and we'll be
cool.
When's that going to happen?
I would expect Amazon will have that.
That last night would have been one of those nights. Holy shit. Holy shit. You know, let's do one of those. Shoes, too, obviously phenomenal. He wasn't even on the graphic, and he picked the Baltimore Ravens. So it was Swagoo, it was Ryan, it was Jason, it was Scott Van Pelt. It was the entire Hammer Dahn show, and it was me because AJ took the Chargers and we were one game differential over the weekend. That felt like everybody was on one side and it still hit. Are we doing that a lot this season, and is that how we should think?
The season started as one of the best seasons for gamblers to remember, and then there was a period where it was the worst season for gamblers over a month period. And then the last month, it's been a bit of 50-50. Like this weekend, 6 teams over 60% won. 4 teams lost. So 6-4 when the public was on 60% or more of the bets this week.
Okay, so we need to know that it doesn't mean anything if
Correct.
everybody's leaning one way.
Nope.
It used to in the past. It's in the book, and it's on the books from this particular season. In the past, that used to be the indicator. Hey, if everybody is thinking this way, it's got to go this way. That's not real anymore. We need to remember that, especially whenever we're betting on hockey. Ladies and gentlemen, a fan of the reigning Stanley Cup champions, Florida Panthers. And I have no idea why he's wearing that today. I can't wait to hear. 9-year NFL vet there. Here's Jay Ball.
I'm a team player, and it's not going so great right now. I don't know what's going on. Maybe Nick could give a little more insight.
The Panthers got their asses beat last night?
They're struggling mightily at the moment.
No.
4 in a row. So this is me playing my part in the team, trying to turn the tide around. Hey, boys, we need another one.
Oh, you guys suck?
Yeah.
I would say we suck. Definitely don't suck. We're second in the division right now, but on the four-game skid right now. It hasn't been great. Bob's kind of been in and out of the net, so I'm not sure what's going on there, but we'll turn around. Maurice,
the Pens are about to turn around.
Any day now. Any day now.
They play that
You know what it is?
You guys are relegated, actually.
No, you know what it is? Because we don't talk about hockey enough anymore.
No,
That's what it is.
It's because they don't have a Sacco.
Wait, who's
That's not what it is.
It's tough to get to 3 Stanley Cups in a row, D-Butch. It is a grind.
Anyways, hockey's awesome. It is currently happening. You should watch it. The Penguins are turning around. They did something good.
Sure.
You know, I think
they do good.
They
I
did
saw
something
Sid
great.
fighting. I never see Sid fight his own fight.
Scored his 600th.
Boom. 10th fight of his career. He's sick of it.
Where the goons?
We don't have him. That's part of the problem.
At
Is he's
home.
been the goon for the team. Him and Gino, who is second best player on the team, they have been the goons for the team over the last 5, 7, 10 years. And that's part of the problem. You know, we got the Fenway Sports Group that owns it, though. I'm sure they're going to do it.
No, they're not doing that. They're loading up for Juan Soto.
Yeah, they're too worried about that.
Juan Soto's coming up to Boston.
Okay, they
Play
need to
some
not let Juan
baseball.
Soto affect what's going on in
Play some
Pittsburgh.
baseball.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, Ohio State legend, ladies and gentlemen, Super Bowl champion, all-time leading tackler for Green Bay Packers, A.J. Hawk.
Yeah.
Hawker, what hockey team are you pulling for this year? Every year it's somebody different depending upon where Jack goes.
Yeah, this year the Columbus Blue Jackets are actually my squad, and they actually just jumped ahead of the Pittsburgh Penguins in the standings. So yeah, doing
What? Here we go.
my.
The Blue Jackets.
I believe we're 9-1 or something. Yeah, we're it's a roller coaster of a season, but yeah, we're figuring it out.
I met Stinger and Colin this weekend. Colin is Stinger's right-hand man. I met him at, they're promoting the Stadium Series going to the Horseshoe. That's going to be awesome.
That's sweet.
It's gonna be
Now,
sweet.
I don't know if the 2 teams that are playing are going to be able to draw the amount of people that they were hoping for. You got the Columbus Blue Jackets playing the Detroit Red Wings.
Hell yeah.
That's a stinker.
That's going to be all Red Wings fans in that barn.
That's Cooper Rush, Tommy DeVito Thanksgiving Day.
I don't know.
That's not true.
110,000 they were talking about. They're like, you have the ability to hold 110,000. I'm like, you guys put the Columbus Blue Jackets versus the Detroit Red Wings?
Already did it in the big house.
Who, the Red Wings? Who
Yeah,
you guys
Pack
play?
Stadium.
When Pavel Datsyuk
I believe it was the
playing.
Toronto Maple Leafs back then.
Anyway, so they probably do it so people could travel, you know, so it's one of those games.
Yeah.
I love those
So
stadiums.
it's a spectacle. So even people that aren't hockey fans, wouldn't you? If you're not a hockey fan, you wouldn't go watch a game in the stadium. That doesn't happen.
Yeah,
Like,
even when the teams aren't good, you go, oh, look, we're in the football stadium. It's cool. It's zany.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
football.
zany.
It is cool.
But it's hockey.
Yeah.
I love the Stadium Series.
Yeah.
Just to, I'm not jacked up about this one, you know?
No.
But Stinger's going to do some shit. I met Stinger's the mascot. I like the way Stinger operates.
Hell yeah.
I like the way
Nick and I went to one.
Good D's from
Good
Stinger.
claps.
You know, good attitude.
They better wheel that cannon in there.
Good
They got a
mo-
nice cannon they launch off at Blue Jackets games.
Oh, they better do that. I assume they will. You went to one of these Stadium Series
Yeah,
games?
we went to one right before we actually moved to Indy, and it was the coldest I've ever been in my entire life. You bundle up, okay, because it's January. It's cold outside.
I like watching them a lot.
Yeah.
I like watching them a lot because they have like the sky cams on the Stadium Series. And if it is snowing, you know, there's a nice added little, it's like pond hockey back in the day for the lads out here. You know, it's like you get back to it.
There's always an incredible musical guest
Yes.
performs
Oh,
at one of the
yeah.
intermissions.
Bruins Penguins at
Nickelback.
Fenway Park a few years ago was
awesome.
unbelievable. Yeah.
Nickelback, good. I think Train had a couple
Train
good,
did.
good
Sure.
appearances.
Oh yeah, they're good. The players usually have like I always feel bad for them. They have like a 3-mile walk in their skates to the rink because like the ice is nothing compared to a football field. So they're in the locker rooms way back, and then you see like the trail that they build for these guys to walk in their skates up to the ice.
Do you guys love the Blue Jackets over there in Columbus?
They do, honestly. Like people, if you go to a game in person, which I've been to many, like people love it. They really do.
That
So
barn
especially,
is always packed, legitimately.
Very loyal fan base.
Really?
loud. Yeah.
So they will fill that place up.
Maybe.
The stadium?
Yeah.
That's a lot of seats.
A lot of seats.
There's been a lot of football fans there as well, I bet, for sure.
Just an opportunity to go see the Horseshoe.
That's right.
Go get a horseshoe in the winter. Yep, let's do it.
Ohio State fans just, hey, they're opening doors. We need to go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Please pay tribute to this entire thing. Did you hear Heather Dinich talking about the college football playoff ranking?
Yeah.
And Ryan
yeah.
Day, she said she talked to Ryan Day before the game. She talked to Ryan Day on a regular basis about the Michigan game, his mindset, his family, but also they feel like, hey, it feels like they got a little edge to them this year. They ended that Indiana game. You know, she said that he wanted to prove we're a much better team than this team is and wanted to score to indicate it because it was just a 2-score game at the time. You know, so that would certainly be a part of the conversation. 31-15, that's 16. That's 2 touchdowns, 2 2-point conversions. It's a 2-score game. So whenever they get into they gave up 2 special teams touchdowns pretty much with the drop of the snap and then the actual punt return. So that's 2 scores right there.
Tie ball game.
I mean, so Ryan Day thinking of all those things potentially in the moment because he has to, because that is the college football world and landscape that we're in, while also adding on to the fact that he 1,000% ran everything that Kurt Cignetti had said about the Ohio State Buckeyes to his team. Hundreds of times, I bet. If you just think about how he reacted to a fake Lou Holtz interview and a real Lou Holtz situation, Ryan Day sees it all and uses it all. There was Travion Henderson. We appreciate you, but we are certainly going to run this right down their throats for another touchdown. I think you should feel good as an Ohio State fan. That feels like a different energy than what it has been, right?
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, now, like, if you talk about the ultimate trap game, I think they're 21-point favorites against Michigan, which, it's all the, Michigan can come in and make their whole season by knocking off the Buckeyes. So, I think there's a lot of juice going into this one.
Yeah, it's a lot of juice going into the game. You've talked about it, obviously, over there. I think he's doing, there's a lot of people interested in the game still.
Yeah.
Because the story is Ryan Day. If he loses this one, this is worse than ever, especially as 21-point favorite. What is the messaging going around Ohio State about this game? Fans feel like they should dominate this Michigan football team, I assume?
I think that's what they would hope for. Yeah, just like going into the Indiana game, I felt like the Ohio State fans wanted to prove a point how good they were and wanted to make it look good. And I think they did that. And that's probably very similar to how they feel going into this one against Michigan.
So are we. That was an ice cold stadium.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Just immediately, he was very.
It means you can tell it means a lot to him. Yeah, definitely means a lot to him.
Yeah, it definitely did. Indiana, we all assume still going to be in. Congrats to them on potentially still being in a 12-team playoff for college football after everything that program's been through because of the chaos that took place down the SEC. It is a beautiful time to be a college football fan.
You talk about him being under almost more pressure this year, though. I think this is the biggest underdog Michigan's ever been to Ohio State since they've had betting lines. The last 2 biggest times they were Michigan was 17-point dogs, and they won both those games outright. So it's like, there's all that stuff that's creeping in, on top of it,
Hey, I was reminded earlier, my junior year, they were ranked 7, and we were unranked, and they came to Ohio State, and we beat them, and it made our whole, we were not a great team. I think we had 4 losses at the time, and we ended up beating them and kind of ruining what they had.
Yeah, and that's a big driver. That is a big driver.
It fueled our whole offseason. Yeah, it was great for us.
Indiana has Purdue 29.5 point favorites. Like, could you imagine?
What do you think the message is? What's the message to your team if you're SIG to Indiana?
What's SIG is we got to bounce back. But your message, Ryan Walter, I think is the head coach of Purdue. He's been there for 2 years. They're 1-10 or whatever it is right now. It's like, hey, we win this one. We all got another year.
Might as well went undefeated.
we all got another year, you know? Like, that is college ball as a whole. We're lucky to be a part of it. Speaking of lucky to be a part of something, every Tuesday for like the last 5 football seasons, we've had a chance to chit-chat with a man who's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. A man who's going to be considered to be in the pantheon of football players whenever they say, wow, who are the greatest of all time whenever it comes to playing the sport of football. He's obviously won 4 MVPs. He's a Super Bowl champion, current quarterback of the New York Jets from Cal. Ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Rodgers. Good hat, brother. Hey, we saw some photos floating around the internet. How was your weekend back in Berkeley? Obviously, I've got a chance to experience that city. Wonderful energy, wonderful vibes at that place. Football time, I got a chance to experience. How was it to be back around the boys and back in Berkeley, brother?
Yeah, it was a blast, man. It was so much fun. Like, just in that picture, I mean, you're going way too fast in these pictures, but there's some guys I hadn't seen in a long time, guys that really meant a lot to me, great teammates. It was just just such a great weekend. There was something special. That team had the special sauce, you know, that love for each other. We loved hanging out together. We, spent a lot of time off the field together. It was pre-NIL, so college football was a lot different back then. We were all riding around on scooters. We had a damn scooter gang that would drive up and down the hills in Berkeley from time to time. And, we had a lot of fun. But, man, there's so many great memories and stories that were brought up there. Jeff MacArthur in that picture, who was such an incredible receiver, great dude. Had a lot of fun combos with him. Steve Levy, who was over my right shoulder there, basically put the whole damn thing together with Foxy there at Cal, and just so many guys spent a lot of time working on this to honor not just the team, but especially Coach Tedford. And I was saying, I think there were 2 things that really went into. We had like 90 guys come back, like 90 out of 100, a little over 100 come back for one team. It was 04 team. And it was really, I think, due to the work that Steve and Foxy and everybody at Cal put in. But also when the first thing that Steve said, and Steve was a huge reason for it, Steve Levy, my buddy who I saw a UFO with in Jersey.
Yeah. I remember
Product of Don Bosco, Jersey. Also married to a Jersey girl.
Classic.
Had to get all that in. I think. Yep. Okay. I got all that in. Yep.
Check.
But it was Coach Tedford. Everybody loved Coach Tedford, and so much respect and appreciation for what he did for all of our careers. So when Steve called number 1, everybody picked up because everybody loved Steve. And when the first thing he said was, "Hey, we're doing something to honor Coach Tedford in 2004," boom. I mean, you got 90 guys that show up from all over the world. Really, David Loney showed up from Australia. Guys came from the East Coast, from the South. Marshawn was, showed up. He's doing some movie shoot somewhere.
New Mexico. He's in New Mexico shooting the movie.
So he's not in Mexico. I thought he was in Mexico.
No, not old Mexico. New Mexico.
He's in New Mexico.
Yeah.
He's a big time actor now,
I think he's like one of the leads of that movie.
Yeah, Netflix movie.
Yeah, I think he is. Marshawn's one of the most special people to ever exist.
Oh, yeah.
We can never lose Marshawn, and we need to remember that too. Marshawn walks into a room. I think Snoop has a similar effect. I don't know how many people throughout history. Marshawn walks into a room, any room, everybody just mood lifted.
He's a big Pat fan. He's a big AJ fan. Not a big BC fan.
What?
I loved him in
Westworld. I loved him in Westworld.
Let's talk about you taking that trip back. 90 teammates is obviously phenomenal, and shout out to Steve and Foxy for piecing that thing together. But
so many other people. Andrew McGraw was amazing with it, and
of course,
yeah.
Everybody that's a part of it. Thank you all so much over there. You did a great job. Great job.
Oh, yeah.
Bringing 90 people back, especially with how that's way out there, for a lot of people. Not that everybody's in the area, but congratulations on a magical weekend. Now for you, in this time of your football life, everything that's kind of happening, chaos seemingly everywhere around the Jets. Was it nice to get back to college almost and chit chat and reminisce? I don't want to say remember what's great about ball, but was that a part of this weekend? And did you feel any type of way coming out of it?
Yeah, I felt like it was a really fun opportunity to reconnect with some guys, and there was so many cool moments from the weekend. There was one moment where the four of us who lived together at the dorms, all four junior college guys, got to kind of drop in and have a conversation. Ryan Riddle, Garrett Cross, Francis Blamieza, and just talk about some of the silly things used to happen at the dorms back in 2003. That was a cool moment. There was, some fun conversations with various guys that I played with, offensive linemen. Obviously, Dave is a wild man. Marshawn's a wild man. Those guys, but there's just so many fun moments of seeing a guy and totally remember him right away, and being almost surprised by what the first memory is. Oh, I remember you were the guy that, oh shit, you were the guy that that pulled this prank on me, or hey, remember when we, we're doing this, doing the scooter gang thing, or hey, remember La Burrita that one night? Hey, remember the party at the Fiji house? Whatever it might be, there's it was just so many fun memories with these guys, and just reminds you, like, as beautiful as this game is, and it's given so much to all of us, and we've given a lot to it. The thing that really lasts longer than any of it, other than maybe some of the injuries, is the guys, is the relationships, is the moments like that where you, the friendships, and being able to pick back up on the inside jokes and the funny things you used to say, and the moments that made everything. During the weekend, there was very few moments where guys were talking about, hey, remember the stats on this game, or remember the score on this game. Nobody was saying that shit. It was all about, hey, remember the locker room pranks. Hey, remember this thing that happened. Hey, remember that crazy practice in Tahoe when we were playing Air Force the first week, and Teddy made us go up to that school and practice, and he ran our asses for 30 minutes at the end, and we're all exhausted. And then we went to a water park in Sacramento all the way back. Like just shit like that. Just those fun memories. That's really what matters. It's the relationships. And obviously when you have success, it's really special and it bonds you even more. But that team had a special sauce. We all just loved and believed in each other and wanted to play for each other. You don't want to be the guy to let the guy next to you down. You want to be the guy who you could count on all the time. And we had a number of guys play a long time in the league. Lorenzo Alexander, LP Ladasur played a number of years. Matt Giordano played a number of years. But it was a bunch of just tough dudes who've been through a really tough time at Cal when they were 1-10. Coach Tepper came in, brought in a lot of us junior college guys, hit on a lot of them. J.J. Arrington, Garrett Cross, Ryan Riddle, Francis, I mentioned. A lot of guys who changed kind of the culture of that team, and we had a lot of fun together, so it's good to catch up with those guys.
Hell yeah. It sounds like an amazing weekend. Happy you got to experience that, because I think that is the big thing that people talk about whenever they leave the game. Everybody talks about, I miss the locker room, I miss the boys, I miss the moments. Now, we'll transition from that to this particular aspect of football conversation. While you were doing your bye week, boy, there was a lot of chatter about you, brother. Okay, just want to let you know that. And I assume you were checked out, because that's kind of how you go about operating. And then you get updated on some shit, and then there's, whoa, I didn't know that was happening. So here is basically, we think the first report that kind of started a bunch of reports. Diana Rossini, who works for The Athletic, which is owned by the New York Times, reported that at this point, after conversations with sources with the team and around the league, my understanding is that Rodgers still wants to play in 2025, just not for the New York Jets. And then that laid out a bunch of different reports. Strained relationships, they're going to cut you, you're going to get, literally, I think it all just kind of went pretty great. What landing spots? And then there's, he would stink on there. It was like 1,000 different reports. So on that particular report, I think you can kind of say whatever the hell you want to say about that. But what are your thoughts on the future, and any of this bear any credence? And how much did you hear during the bye week?
Yeah, it's all true.
Okay.
There we go.
Boom! He didn't go to dinner with Woody Johnson in the city. He doesn't blah, blah, the whole thing. But 2025, have you given any solid answers? Go ahead. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we start wherever you want to start. Listen, I don't talk to that person. So I don't, there's obviously people that I guess she talks with. I don't understand what the motivation would be or what you think you're getting out of that. But when it comes to me, I can tell you again, my circle is really small. I'm not talking to people who are talking to people like that. So this is at best, it's a third game of telephone with me. And, I don't have I don't have a relationship with reporters who are going to break stories like this. As far as my future goes, I haven't told anybody in my life that I want to play in 2025 and not in the Jets. So that's 100% false. I actually said the opposite. I said that I'm going to wait and see what happens with at the end of the season, and if they want me back, and what happens with Brick, and what happens with the offensive staff, and obviously the GM at the time, and then they just fired Joe. There's a lot of things out of my control when it comes to that. But I've really enjoyed my time in New York. I mean, obviously we haven't had success that we've all wanted to have, but I've made some great friendships on the team. I've enjoyed living in Jersey. I've enjoyed time in the city. I've enjoyed getting to know the fans. And I came here to win here. So I'm not jumping off ship, like, oh, I definitely want to play and not in New York. Like, I don't even know if I want to play yet, but New York would be my first option.
Okay, so let's talk about what you just said there. You don't even know if you want to play yet, because then there was also reports that you're playing through an injury right now and you're refusing to get scans because you don't want them to say that you can't play, and then you're going to maybe be put on IR, or they maybe were going to cut you. Whenever you say you don't even know if you want to play, is that because of mentally, physically? What is kind of the thought behind that? And are you refusing to get scans? How injured are you right now? I think that is information that people should know whenever they're watching you potentially play,
Well, I feel great right now. I mean, I had the week off. I felt really good last week. Our last game we played against the Colts. Felt, as good as I felt in a long time. I will not willingly go on IR without an injury. When it comes to scans, first of all, I played 20 years. I know my body better than anybody. Second of all, I got a great relationship with Zuff over there and the doctors on staff, and we had a lot of great conversations where they, diagnosed what I was dealing with, and I told them how I was feeling, and we talked about the possibilities of playing and rehab and what it would take, and there was no mandate ever. You got to get this scan, and then I was like, I ain't fucking getting a scan. It was. Listen, how do you feel? I told them I know my body well. What do you, see in your diagnosis? Okay. What are the risks of playing? What are the likelihood of playing? What kind of treatment do I got to do to get back? And that was that. There wasn't, any weirdness around that. It's normal conversations. Like MRIs, are used a lot of times to figure out what's going on if you're not quite sure. I have knee pain. Okay, I need to get an MRI to see what it's going on. Is it a bone bruise? Is it, cartilage, has some perforations in it, or is there a ligament or something? When it comes to, especially the hamstring, I don't know what else they were talking about. I met with the guys. I let them do the examination. I told them what I was feeling, and we had great communication through the whole thing.
Your hoodie's hitting the speaker thing on there, so there is a little bit of in between some of the words that you're saying because you're old school.
Oh, I hate that, man. That's terrible.
Well, that's one of the downfalls of the old school wire. That's one of the downfalls. There's a lot of upside.
Protecting the brain.
All right, shit. Let's take it off, man.
No. We're not going to be. Oh, no.
He can't hear.
Yeah,
let's take the hoodie
get
off.
your brain.
Okay, I thought you were going to take the headphones off. Let's not do that. Hair looks good, by the way. Hair looks sweet. You can't hear us.
Oh, great shirt.
Love
that.
Wow. Sweet
Saturn.
shirt.
Those rings.
Yeah. Okay, you were excited. Oh, look at the sky, brother. What do we got? Oh, we got Saturn.
We got Saturn here. We got Saturn.
Hell yeah.
We still got everything you said. It was just a couple different times. Don't worry about that. We heard everything.
I don't want anybody taking any more shit out of context. So let's make sure we hear everything that's said moving forward.
Okay, last thing for me before AJ and the boys have questions, obviously, for you about everything going on in your world. Whenever you say you don't even know if you want to play next year, what does that mean? What does that mean? Like for you, you just.
Well, I feel like I've been kind of year to year, and obviously last year getting hurt, my whole focus was trying to get back to the end of the season, and then getting back for the season. Again, when you're 40, going on 41, you're obviously at the end of your career. So there's a lot of things that obviously, if it's New York. They have to, want me to be here, and then the new GM, new staff, all have to want me to be with the Jets. And then body-wise, I got to see how I'm feeling, and if I want to sign up to go back to the grind and all that. But it feels good. I'm healthy now. It's not as much fun when you're dealing with the kind of rehab time all the time. So if I can stay healthy the rest of the year and play the way I want to play, and everybody feels good about bringing me back, then then there's a decision there. And if not, then there's all the other all the other options. I think at this point I'm open to everything and attached to nothing. So it's a good place to be.
Hey, who knows what the future holds? It's
true.
We'll wait until then to figure out what it is. But I appreciate you clearing some air. Like I am not. There's a lot of things that have to unfold before any decision is made. What year is this for you in the NFL?
20.
Congrats, man.
Hell yeah.
Good
2 decades.
It's really good. It's really good. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
It's a lot.
Shout out to Saturn, too. How many rings are on Saturn?
Oh, so many, man.
Uncountable.
So many. It's
So
crazy.
many rings. It's crazy.
They're still trying to figure it
Go ahead, AJ.
Hey, Adam, when you said obviously you don't know if you want to play next year. How does it feel compared to maybe years in the past? Last year, excluding that, because we know tear the Achilles early, and it's always, hey, we're going to do whatever it takes to come back. But how do you feel now compared to maybe the last 2, 3, 4 years when you kind of were going year to year and figuring it out?
I don't think I was really going year to year. Like, definitely not 20 and 21. I mean, 22, I knew my time in Green Bay was probably at an end, and they wanted to move on. So that kind of allowed me to think about if I still wanted to play. And then when I got traded in New York, I definitely wanted to give at least 2 good years. Now, there's obviously opinions about whether or not I've given any good years. But, yeah, obviously last year was an injury, and this year hasn't gone as well as anybody would have liked. But I have, really enjoyed my time. These have been 2 of the most important years of my life, and 2 of the best years of my life. As much as it's been frustrating and difficult, it's been, 2 really beautiful years. Of the ups and downs and the in-betweens. But, again, there's a lot that goes into it. You got to feel, body-wise like you want to give it a go. Health-wise, mental, all the things that go into it. And then you want to be in a spot where you feel like you can win and you're valued. So a lot can change. Again, I'm open to whatever comes and not attached to anything. But playing in New York would obviously be my first choice if I want to play.
Atta baby. Hey, I like hearing that. Because I read it anywhere but there.
Yeah, bingo.
That's what they said.
I didn't like that.
Why not?
So if they came back.
We had a great group of guys. I mean, they just traded for Devontae, and it's a good core of older players, great young players, coming in the second contract stuff. So I don't know. I mean, and then you win in New York, you can do something special. So
Okay,
I'd definitely be open.
So let's talk about that. So when you get there, Coach Saleh's the coach. Joe Douglas is the general manager. Now, Coach Saleh's no longer the coach, and Joe Douglas no longer the general manager. When that news happens, are you blindsided by it? What is because obviously everybody on the internet says you ordered a hit.
You fired
on Joe Douglas. Obviously, that's what's not everybody. A portion of the internet is always going to believe that. Remember, you were immunized. Remember the whole thing?
Yeah.
That happened, so that's how they're going to feel forever in this entire conversation. But when Joe Douglas gets fired last week, what is the first thought? And did you know, or did anybody really know what was coming? How does that kind of come together from your perspective?
Well, I didn't know. I was on a plane about to head back to California and got a call. I love Joe. I spent a lot of time with Joe, a lot of conversations. He's a fucking great man. He's a damn good general manager. And I really enjoyed our conversations. I'm disappointed because I had a hand in it. I had an opportunity to play better and to keep him here. So I feel bad about that because he's a great human. The human aspect of this is tough because there's families involved, there's people involved. Joe is such a great dude, and I have so much love and respect for him. I can't say I was fully surprised though, because there was a helicopter that landed at practice on that Tuesday, and I don't know. I just felt like something crazy was about to go down. Maybe it isn't crazy outside the building, but when the helicopter landed mid-practice, I was like...
Is that not normal for New York?
What happened in Dallas?
Jared does.
Jared does.
I mean, does he come on a helicopter? I just knew something might be going down here. And I was like, damn, I hope it's not Joe.
And then a couple hours later,
they whacked him.
Here it's Joe.
At the knees.
Good luck out there, Joe.
Good luck, Joe.
You ever ride on that chopper with Woody?
Yeah, you guys ever take trips together saying who we firing next?
Christopher.
Yeah.
I have not.
Okay. People are going to say you have. I mean, it's just inevitable.
You're flying.
It's just inevitable. Oh, what did Aaron Rodgers do this past offseason? He became a helicopter pilot. Why did he do that? Why did he do that? This guy, he's always high. What altitude's he at? Well, he's in a helicopter. That's why this entire thing he's got going on. Woody's helicopter. Now, so let's get back to this particular season. Obviously, head coach gone, GM gone. Still got a lot of ball left to be played after the bye week. D-Bud has a question for you.
Yeah, you said the body, feels good. Obviously, you're banged up at this point in the season. Everybody that's playing is. But we're a mind, body, and soul show here. So how's the mind going forward for this home stretch, especially obviously not just for yourself, but still having to be that leader in the building when things obviously haven't necessarily gone you guys' way?
Yeah, that's a great question, D-Butt. Because it takes all three to be able to do what you want to do in the facility and on the field. Part of that is learn how to balance the mind, body, and soul, and the physical, the mental, and the spiritual part of all of it. I think the most important thing is to be present with all of it. And the mind can go crazy, and you can have 50 to 90,000 thoughts a day, and it can take you all different places throughout the day and distract you, and you miss out on great opportunities that are kind of right in front of you to connect with your teammates and make an impact on their life, or say something to them that might mean something, or listen and learn something from them that might really impact your life. So I think that's the most important thing, whether you're 8-3 or 3-8 and playing for the playoffs or playing for pride. It's how do you show up every single day? Can you be the same person? Can you bring the same type of energy, enthusiasm? If you can, it's a reminder to everybody how much this game means to you, and that you just love football. You love to compete. This is a full-time job, and you don't just turn it off when you want to or play when you have a good record. There's pride in performance at all times, and I got a lot of pride in what I've accomplished, and I got a little love for my teammates, and I want to go out there and play as well as I can. But at the same time, I want to be real present every single day in the locker room. I want to be present at practice. I want to, continue to lead the best that I can and look for ways to impact my teammates. Because, like I said, when you go to a reunion after 20 years and you see these guys, you hear some cool comments over the years that really give you a lot of pride in what you accomplished and good feelings about the impact you can have on people. And there were multiple comments shared both ways. I got to share with Coach Tedford what he meant to me and how much him pushing me turned me into the player that I was today. And I heard from multiple teammates about things that happened, words of encouragement or leadership style that they really appreciate over the years and meant a lot to them. And those are the things that you really feel good about at the end of the day. So I'm going to keep looking for those opportunities with my guys and keep trying to be present and play the game I love.
That did have to be a pretty cool moment, especially as somebody that, a lot of people say negative things about somebody from 20 years ago and like, hey, you remember when you did this? And then I see you do this. That's like a cool little trip down memory lane. Feel good about yourself, as you should.
Yeah. And I don't give a shit about what any of these people are saying about me.
Any of them? None of them. Fuck them all.
I mean, nobody I would, not ask advice from. I don't worry about opinions from people. I wouldn't ask them for advice.
That's good. Hey, that's a good mindset.
Good quote.
Good mantra.
That's a good mindset. I like that. You've had to have that now, though, because, boy, that's why I can't wait for. I don't know if it's been.
Well, they still got to do their vac status. They haven't been doing it.
Yeah, okay.
They kind of stopped doing that. They still got to let everybody know.
Yeah.
They got to let everybody know what their vac status is, so people can put it in the right context when they're taking these.
Every once in a while, I'll get somebody who comes up to me and be like, "Hey, you think Aaron's ever going to forget about like the people that attacked him during the vaccine stuff, and it's like, as somebody that was in the mentions alongside probably half of the amount of stuff, I don't think you forget that. I don't think you
remember.
Go ahead.
Remember the old adage, like forgive and forget. There's a little extra something that goes with that, and if there's some sort of admission of maybe wrongdoing at some point along the way, like maybe the ridiculous Orwellian things that we mandates we put on society, or maybe the things that we said or did, or maybe this miracle vaccine wasn't always meant to be, and some of the things that we did and said to people were wrong. Then I think we can all kind of move past it. When you try and make it seem like nothing ever happened, we never mandated a vaccine. We never fired anybody for not getting vaxxed. We never humiliated people for their opinions.
Called them murderers. I was called a murderer in multiple different languages for even allowing you to speak about your 500-page report you did on the entire thing.
Wow.
I was called a murderer. That's what I was called. I was like, I feel actually terrible, genuinely terrible about myself. Why are you letting this guy talk and tell his side of the story? Why are you doing this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't let him do his own research,
Journalistic
But that's why, hey, look, maybe things will change with Bobby in charge now.
Well.
Look out, man. Look out.
You looking for a cabinet position?
Bobby.
For real.
Well.
Doge,
Let's hear what
perhaps?
Bobby's got to say. That's awesome. Anyway,
There's some people quaking in their boots right now.
I could fathom.
Say that much.
If it means anything, I would like to let you know that, let's say this upcoming season, and we'll talk about this a lot, but we want to let you know, it's been a hell of a ride these last 5 years.
Hell yeah.
It has been a hell of a ride these last
You're dropping me. That's what
Yep.
You're dropping me.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Actually, ladies and gentlemen, this is over forever. We're putting the Jets might not be putting them on IR or cutting them, but we fucking are. This guy's gone. No, it's been cool, man, legitimately. And that's why every time you start talking about that, like, I very much remember the things that were being said at that time by a lot of people with a lot of power, about. He was like the face of it at one point.
On SNL.
This is the guy.
Spoofing him on SNL.
President. Yeah. President, SNL. I mean, other countries. I mean, you were this guy's worst human that exists right now. Just want to let you know that. This is the guy. And then you had your little Halloween party. Oh, this guy thinks it's fun.
Oh, cool costume.
This guy's like hanging out with people that are vaxxed. This anti-vax guy's going to ruin the rest of the world. We'd like to let you know, it's been a fun ride, brother, no matter what happens in the future football-wise. Now, speaking of ride.
It's been my pleasure.
All right, see you never, dude. All right, now let's get back to the ride that has been your relationship with the New York Jets, shall we? Because Tone Diggs actually has a very good question about something that had been reported a few times.
Yeah, reported a few times about the guy that landed in the helicopter at practice, Woody Johnson, the owner of the Jets. There's been reports that he didn't want you starting anymore. There's been reports that you guys, great relationship. You guys went out to dinner a few weeks ago out in the city, out in the town. It was a great dinner. So based off of those reports, what is the relationship? And now that he might be an ambassador again to England, what is the relationship with Woody and the Johnson family?
I mean, I think it's a good relationship. The Johnson that I went to dinner with was not maybe the one that was reported.
A different Johnson.
I have been to dinner with Woody before. It's been a little while, but I have a lot of gratitude for all the Johnsons for bringing me in. Had some good conversations over the last 2 years. But no, I would say, Chris is maybe around a little bit more than Woody. He'll come on the road trips with us on the plane. So I've had more conversations, I would say, with Christopher than Woody. But no, I got a lot of love and appreciation and gratitude for all the Johnsons.
Okay, because we heard, you hated them, and that's why anybody but the Jets, and then yada, yada, yada. It's a never ending. It's crazy. Do you send texts from fake phones and be like, hey, straight out of Aaron Rodgers camp? Like the Vrabel move.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Or was it Vrabel, or who was the coach that lied to Rappaport? Who was it?
Mike Malarkey.
Did you hear about this?
I did hear about that. Yeah, it was genius.
Okay. All right, so you put that one down. Aaron put that one down in the old booth. All right, let's talk about this week.
I don't think there's a lot of, there's not a lot of journalistic integrity anymore.
What? Standards.
The standards are what they are. There's.
Come on.
Listen, I think some of the stuff that I've read, I would say the majority is limited in its truth and questionable in its content. Meaning, I don't understand why some of the articles were written last year, because it seemed like they were really trying to ruin people's lives.
Got it.
Now, that being said, I don't understand why people would talk to some of these people. Like, maybe it's just me in my world. I don't know anybody in my world that goes online and trolls people's social media. Like, they're in the comments all the time. I don't have nobody that I have a relationship with that does that.
AJ does.
I don't have anybody. I don't believe that it's in my inner circle that would spend any time talking to a reporter about other people's shit or trying to slam them or protect themselves. But unfortunately, this business has turned into a lot of cover your ass, And I guess that's why that's part of what this is people are trying to cover their ass, so they got to, have a fall guy. It was Hackett, it was Robert, it was Joe. Then it's me, and that's fine. I can take it. I don't care, and those guys can too. I mean, still talk to Robert a lot. He's doing great. He's totally fine. But it's still like the slander that went his way, I think, was totally unfair. The slander that went Hack's way and has gone Todd's way. It's interesting, the motivation behind people who would try and leak things, and then again, the actual content and the fact around the leaking is usually very very limited. I would say every now and then they have some stuff that's right on. You're like, what the fuck? How'd they get that?
Yes. Agreed.
But I would say a lot of times it's either over exaggerated or just not really that close to the truth.
Yeah, it's an interesting gig that they have, because they can assume that a source is good, but who knows if source is actually good, but they can say source should be good because of this particular person, then the information that they have to confirm on the other side. It is a timeless job.
Then there's emotion, there's emotions, there's perspective that informs. If the three of us on the screen here all saw the same thing, we maybe wouldn't have the same experience. So your version of what actually happened, AJ, is usually false, but your version of what happened is going to differ slightly from what happened to Pat and what happened to me. And then when there's emotions involved and you're covering your ass a little bit, then it's easy for things to be exaggerated past the point of, what actually happened in the situation, obviously. So it is, it's the environment that we're in. I won't say they've gotten everything wrong. There's been some things that they've definitely gotten right. Usually not high percentage when it comes to me. Every now and then they get something and I'm like, damn, how'd they know that? But I would say more often than not, they're like, that never fucking happened. That's bullshit.
Yeah, so your world is a little bit different than I think everybody else's, because everything you do has been covered very closely by entertainment people, sports people, everything. You are, you know that, though. So
crossover.
Yeah, but you get judged a lot, and by everybody. Well, I think it was before that, though, too, right?
A little bit. I was still an enigma, though, back then.
Great name there.
Remember?
Great name there. Enigma. That's a great name.
Carry on.
There's something coming with that particular word.
What?
Does Ty have a question or not? What's going on?
He does, actually. It's a great question, too, because we're on a great week right now.
Yeah, Aaron, obviously you're no stranger to playing on Thanksgiving. I don't think you ever played at home at Lambeau on Thanksgiving, though, so I'm pretty usually, Packers are always playing against the Lions in Detroit, but they have a game on Sunday night. Other than that, the slate's a couple fucking stinkers. But where would you put in your ranking of special moment games and things like that? Where is playing on Thanksgiving rank for you?
Well, maybe somebody in the back can fact check this one, but I believe in 2015 we may have played on Thanksgiving against the Bears. Could be wrong on that. Maybe it's Thanksgiving week. But again, fact check me on that. It was a night game at home against Chicago. We lost, but that was when we took a picture.
Yep.
Bart Starr was there. Harvey and myself. Pretty cool picture
Oh,
that I
it
have
is a
actually.
cool picture.
That was fun. And then hearing Bart swear was pretty funny as well, which is a whole nother story because he was such a upright man of God. He rarely ever said a foul word about anybody until he kind of had some later in his life when his kind of health issues were going. But I think I enjoyed playing on Thanksgiving in Detroit because it was an early game and we get back. And like I remember being at dinner, sitting at the table eating Thanksgiving at like 6 o'clock on that Thursday after having played a game. And we won a lot of those games. One of my favorite memories was nothing to do with the game, but when we ran up the tunnel and they told everybody, stay in your seats here, our halftime entertainment, Nickelback.
Yes.
And the whole crowd was like, boo.
What?
Super loud. Super loud. But yeah, I mean, Thursdays in general, you don't really, you don't love. Now, we've loved them this year. We're 2-0 on Thursday. But the Thursday night games are easier because you at least get that extra little bit. Like Thursday, playing at 12:30 Eastern, that makes for a short week. But I loved watching football growing up because Madden and Summerall always had the game, and Madden had the turducken, and you remember him giving it out to like Nate Newton and Emmitt Smith and all the linemen from Dallas, and that was always really cool. But it's kind of one of those holidays that's always been about football. So when I've gotten a few times to play on, it's been pretty special.
Yeah, the Turkey Bowl, getting a chance. Well, I played against Pittsburgh.
Better than Christmas.
We had Hall of Fame game. It ended up getting moved against you guys. Mm-hmm. Thanksgiving, Christmas, and I think New Year's Day. Yeah. One season.
Jeez.
That was my last year.
Makes sense.
I'm fucking done with it. I'm done punting balls on fourth downs. I'm going to go elsewhere. But like playing on Thanksgiving is cool because everybody's forced to watch.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Everybody's like forced to watch. Like Sunday Night Football, everybody says everybody's watching. It's like maybe. Monday Night Football, everybody's watching. But like the total audience delivered is this math equation that these networks do whenever they try to project how many people are alongside the person that's watching the TV. So it's like each TV was a rating, I think back in the day. Then inevitably somebody came by and was like, is everybody watching alone? No, there's at least
7,
4 or
8,
5
9,
people.
10.
So like the Thanksgiving total audience delivered is always like some massive number because literally everybody has football on the TV. So it's just like a part of Americana history almost, which is why I think it's special. But it does suck to not have your own Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Like as you're in there, you're thinking to yourself like, man, it would have been nice to maybe have Thanksgiving. We were at home, thank God.
Yeah.
We're not on the road.
No, but we liked it because we would have Thanksgiving on Fridays. Yeah.
Whole team
then
Friday.
Then you could kind of get after it a little bit, jump in the river if you wanted to.
Hell yeah.
Hey,
one of those nights.
11-1 on Thanksgiving. I got in my ear there. You on Thanksgiving.
I don't know if that's true.
Well, AI has been wrong on a few things.
A lot of times.
Yeah. You were right about that Bears game, though.
You guys lost 17-13 Bears. They beat you guys.
What did Bart Starr call you?
We lost.
What?
It wasn't me. It wasn't what he said to me. He said to some of the people, the caretakers taking care of him. The caregivers. He, had some colorful metaphors for him later in his life.
He was fed up. I've been thinking here for a while. All right, what is? Are you turkey ham?
Turkey. I don't eat pork.
Okay. Respect the diet.
It's a foul.
Will you do stuffing? That is a good one. That's good. Will you do stuffing, mashed potatoes, any of the sides, or no, not with the diet we're on?
No, I'm definitely in up. 80-20, bro. Give me any type of casseroles we got. Sweet potatoes for sure. You call it stuffing or dressing? When you call it stuffing?
Well, apparently it's two different things. We had to look this up because there was a debate the other day. Stuffing is whenever it's cooked inside, allegedly, of the turkey, and then stuffing can also just be dressing if it's cooked outside, which stovetop. Stovetop has the winner. Stovetop has figured it out.
We call it dressing in our household.
I'm sure they've got some great ingredients.
Two Americas. situation.
I don't think
What?
so. I don't
That's
think
not
that.
true.
Is it a
What did he say?
Thanksgiving spreads look.
He said we call it dressing in my household and two Americas.
No, look, this is one of those holidays where guys love some casserole. Give me have it separate. Give me my yams, my mac and cheese, my greens, ham. Turkey's got to be there just
I'm with
because
you, casseroles are not.
It just got to be there. Casserole, unless it's a sweet potato casserole. I will
Agreed.
take one of those.
10-4 on that one.
Sweet potato casserole, exactly. Yeah,
that's a banger.
Yeah, sweet potato is the winner. It's much better than just basic ass, regular ass potatoes.
That's not true.
Yeah,
that is not true. Not even a little bit.
Very true.
AJ, how do you feel about mashed potatoes?
I think it's garbage.
Oh, the guy that eats chicken and rice for every meal, you're leaning on him.
But if you slop some on your fork with some turkey, it's okay. If
you put flavor on it,
throw some cran in there too.
That's what my point is with stuffing. Stuffing isn't just bread. There's a bunch of shit on stuffing as well. That's the same thing with potatoes.
What are you talking about? No,
I will tell you.
No, he is not.
Yes, I am.
You're right with that. You're right with that.
No,
I know.
Stuffing in of itself is a combination of shit.
Okay.
Mashed potatoes is just a. That's what it is.
Yeah, if you just take potatoes and mash them up, yes, that is what it is. But when you're serving them on Thanksgiving, it's not just, hey, look, I just grounded a bunch of potatoes up. Eat them. They do a bunch of shit to them.
The way you feel right now is not how other mashed potato lovers who are mad at me for my take about mashed potatoes feel. They're saying, give me the. Just
can't do that.
That's what they say.
That's dumb for any food across the board.
Not stuffing. Stuffing by itself.
No, because stuffing itself has a bunch of shit in it.
That's what stuffing is. Yes, that is what it is.
So stuffing is just bread. They serve just stuffing crumbs. That's what they do. Oh my God, I'll take a photo of it later. they're serving it at Whole Foods right now. They're serving it at Whole Foods right now.
We'll definitely see it. Send it in.
I will.
The cranberry. Do you like cranberry, Aaron?
I do. Yes, I do. I was going to say before things.
Hell yeah.
I think, DB, that you lost AJ there when you started talking about greens.
What do you mean you lost me? What's that mean?
That lady's about to be seen on everybody's timeline.
Oh yeah.
What a legend.
It's heard that.
AJ, do you put on a little Chuck Berry record when you're on your Thanksgiving?
You mean the greatest guitar player of all time? No, I do not. But maybe I will this Thanksgiving.
Mount Rushmore.
Guitar player?
Yeah, he's up there.
Yeah,
and pissing.
We end here on ESPN on that note. We can't thank you enough for joining us here on Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, 5th season of it all. It's a wonderful conversation. We hope you're enjoying your own Thanksgiving conversations and reflecting upon what life is, could be, and what it has been. Thank you all so much. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change your life, like Dude Wipes. See you tomorrow. Goodbye. Nailed it right there.
Yep, boom.
Nice.
Shohei Ohtani, right up here.
Oh, Juan Soto.
Bang. Juan Soto. He's about to make $650 million.
Yeah, from Fenway Sports Group.
You should Red Sox.
Do you think he's going to defer all his salary like Shohei did?
He shouldn't. It's
How'd you feel
fucking
about
bullshit.
that? How'd you feel about that? Ty is so mad about that situation.
Fucking horse shit.
Why?
What do you mean? Why?
Because he's a fucking first ballot generational, maybe the best player ever. You can't just fucking give a guy and be like, you know what? Yeah, we'll pay you in 65 years. You won't be you won't count anything against your team's fucking salary cap for the next 10 years. So you can just, fuck it, get the best player ever, and then go out and get whoever the fuck else you want. And you know what? You can defer their salaries too. Maybe if you're lucky, maybe Shohei will fucking die in like a plane crash or something.
Why?
And then you'll be off the hook, and you won't have to fucking play him.
You're a bad guy.
I don't want that to happen, obviously. I'm just saying.
You're a terrible
guy.
It's not how baseball works. They got to pay the fucking luxury tax. You got to pay it year over year over year. And by doing that, you're fucking around, man.
No, sorry they beat the game. You guys are mad about them
They're
beating
cheating.
They beat the game.
Vegas
Well, they're willing to pay the tax, right? You're willing to pay the luxury tax.
Well, yeah.
No, you're not paying it if you're paying the guy's salary $1 million. It's all back
good for
end.
them.
Figured it out.
Good for them.
Sounds like
Was that Gavin? Did Newsom figure that out? How were they able to do that?
I think he did.
All right.
Figuring out other stuff,
It's
too.
a good day. I'm happy you
I had
went. Go ahead.
I'm not even.
Come on.
I have to get going there.
You were this.
I have to get going there. Had a little-
Take the bait.
You were this close. Hey, AJ tried, didn't he?
Almost had it.
He certainly tried. It's Thanksgiving. I'm thankful for all of this. And Aaron, I'm happy you had a great trip back to Berkeley. Good luck this upcoming week. You guys are playing the Seattle Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good football team.
Good luck out there.
Come off a big.
Thanks, guys. Hey, happy Thanksgiving, man. Appreciate all you guys.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
You too.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week or IR.
We'll see, man. Open to everything.
Ladies and
Attached to nothing.
You felt good about that. You felt good whenever that came out. That was a good bar.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah.
4-time MVP, Super Bowl champion, ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Open to anything, attached to nothing. Okay?
Save that one.
Okay.
Go ahead and put that one down.
Save that for Thanksgiving night.
Go ahead and join. Not going to be a lot of that. There's going to be a lot of attached twos.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and open to nothing. They're going to have that one completely. Let's remember Thanksgiving. Let's just enjoy ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just enjoy ourselves.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's have that, right there on the
That's not the sound it makes, brother.
What?
That's not the sound it makes. Oh, yeah. That's what it sounds like.
What's it
I
sound?
can't wait. Oh, yeah. I can't wait to take a photo of that fucking shit in Whole Foods. I wasn't planning on going today. Usually I go like every other day. Today, I'll go just to take a photo.
You're going to Whole Foods every other day? You're addicted to this place?
I love Whole Foods, man. I love it.
Why?
It is a good
just fun.
spot.
It's good vibes in there. If you really want, you can stop in and get a beer. Everyone knows your name.
Sometimes you want to go to a place
Yeah.
where everyone knows your name. They have food there too, I assume?
Yeah, they got food there. They got pizza. They got a hot bar. They got a cookie bar. Very good cookies.
There's an actual
Get
bar
breakfast
too.
there.
Guys just get boozed up at Whole Foods.
Just like Giant Eagle.
That's what I'm going to do on Christmas.
Do people, you're going to get boozed up at Whole Foods?
Yeah.
That's where he's going Wednesday. Blackout Wednesday. He's going to Whole Foods.
Bingo.
All right, let's take a break. We'll be back on the other side, wrapping up all the news from the day. Yeah, there's a lot.
Of which there is many.
Yeah, I just scanned through. Dan Hurley's awesome.
Oh.
Dan Hurley's awesome. We're going to talk about him. Connecticut fucking loses in the Maui Invitational to unranked Memphis. Sound bites galore.
Tough squad.
Audio clips compared to Oppenheimer, or video clips compared to Oppenheimer. That's what we got going on with the back-to-back national champions. There's some Bo Nix graphics and stats coming out there saying, wait a minute. Are the Denver Broncos a team? And then Dan Jones is officially a free agent. Can't wait to chat about that. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Like Dude Wipes. Speaking of.
Here we go.
Wake up. New Dude Wipes read.
Oh.
The overeating and drinking season is upon us. And our friends at Dude Wipes have done it again. In the fall, they had Dumpkin Spice. Do you recall?
Yeah.
And now for the holidays, they have limited edition Dude Wipes Dingle Bells.
Wow.
I get it.
Okay.
Dude Wipes Dingle Bells have a fresh, festive scent and are made with clove and other jolly shit.
Okay.
I love clothes.
So whatever mess comes down your chimney during the holidays,
It's good.
ditch the dry, scratchy toilet paper for Dude Wipes, because wet cleans better than dry. Scan the QR code to get your limited edition Dingle Bells Dude Wipes before they sell out. Available on Amazon. Dingle bells, dingle bells, dingle all the way. Wipe your butt with Dude Wipes and you'll feel better today.
Hey!
Available on Amazon.
That was a good copy.
One per flush, right?
One per flush.
Yep.
And also, don't be scared. You let that poop go down itself.
Sure. Well.
Oh, and that, yeah.
Poop, flush, white.
Yeah.
Poop, love. You can make that a song, too.
Be
Poop,
smart.
flush, dude. Poop, flush, dude. All right. We'll be back on the other side. Be a friend, tell a friend something.
Nailed it.
I had no idea what to expect whenever I came out here to Utah. Stop that right?
Yeah,
Shock. I can't make it. Steve Smith Sr. Ladies and gentlemen, Pac-12 champion, head coach of the Utah Utes football team, pulling in on a Harley-Davidson Sportster, I do believe, Coach Kyle Whittingham.
Lot of blessings piling up that I ain't even wished for. None left over for y'all. I'm locking the fridge door at the crib, cutting hits. I read through the catalog, came to conclusion, no one's touching this. Just finished the maiden voyage, hopping off the Mayflower. Said I'm shot to kill them off, whatever the take. Power, sing the boats, I'm at home. I'm selfish with the goals.
I mean, you got to do it. It is 34 degrees out here in the back-to-back Pac-12 champions. Mighty Utah student section has been here in abundance. They've been loud. In today's a day where they showcase to the world that it's not just Mormons and soaking in Utah. No. It's great football and an incredible fan base. They've been so kind. I appreciate the hell out of you all. Have you ever thought something negative about a kicker before in your entire life?
Yes.
All right, relax, dude. Okay. Boston Connor was drinking with Dwayne Wade last night. $225,000. Let's remember this day forever, Cameron. You know that 29 out of the last 30 home games that happens right here at the University of Utah, the Utah Utes win. Cam Rising said yesterday, we don't lose at home, and today, they ain't losing. This place is going to be soaking in celebration this evening. You guys were absolutely that this is a town you don't want to jacked, dude.
Lighting's great.
Ryu, did you know you would be good in front office? Did you know that this was going to be something you would succeed at?
I didn't know I'd be good at it. I didn't even know I'd be doing it. It's an interesting story as to how I ended up here. I ask myself that often. Way back when I was a kid, I did love like the NFL draft. My dad used to pull me out of school. Out of half day, he'd come pick me up at lunch. We'd go watch the draft. So I loved that. Throughout my career, I'd piss my wife off by not only watching round 1 through 3, but then watching round 7. And I'm filling out sheets. And I think the thing that probably piqued my interest, I was living in Denver after I got done playing there. I'd become friendly with Elway. We played some golf together and he looked out for me. We had the same high school coach. We went to Stanford, played football, baseball, same fraternity. That was like the poster on my wall. But Elway took the leap at the Broncos. And in his first year, he said, Johnny, you know, I'm keeping a lot of the scouts, but I don't know them. I love the way you think about football. Could you watch the safeties this year and write some reports? And so I did that for him. Remember, it was the year of like Mark Barron and Harrison Smith. And I took a lot of pride in. I had no idea how scouts did things, but I just watched it like I would watch film, and I sat there at the computer and wrote some reports, and Elway was blown away with like the detail. If I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it right. The next year he says, that was awesome, Johnny, why don't you do the DBs? So I did the entire DBs. I added the corners. The next year he invites me in for their draft process. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of time. I went to Indy. I went to the combine with the Broncos that year. So that started piquing my interest. Long after that, there was a guy who ended up bidding for the Carolina Panthers, and he didn't get the team. Tepper got it. But there was another another gentleman by the name of Ben Navarro, and I worked with his brother at Fox. And he one time asked if he could meet with me, and out of the blue asked me if I would run his team if he got the Panthers. And I said, really? Are you serious? And he asked me to kind of put together a vision statement for how I would run a team. And so I spent a couple weeks doing that. I met with him. And from that point forward, I kind of just said, if the right scenario ever came about, this might be something I want to do. I was missing like competition. I was missing scoreboard. I was missing the wins, the losses, all of that. Out of nowhere, something was keeping me up at night one year. I didn't even know what it was. And my wife said, something's on your mind. I know you when you're acting like this, you can't sleep. And I had done a bunch of Falcon games that year, and Kyle Shanahan was the offensive coordinator. It's the year they went to the Super Bowl against the Patriots, and I heard something like Kyle Shanahan's going to get this Niners job, and that's the one he wants. But somebody said he's struggling to find a GM he wants to work with, and so something was on my mind. I had done a bunch of Kyle's games that year, and I gave him a cold call, and I just said, hey, dude, I want to thank you for all the time you've given me all year in these production meetings. I heard something that you're struggling to find a GM. And he goes, I am, man, it's killing me. I think I am going to take that Niners job. And he goes, why are you asking? And I said, well, consider me. I don't even know if I do it, but just think about that and see what you think. And his first question, he's like, dude, why would you do that? You got a great job. You got a great life. Like, why would you even consider doing that? I said, you go play your games. He did. He called back and he said, man, I can't stop thinking about what you said to me. Would you do that? And I want you to come meet this dude named Jed. Well, that dude named Jed was our owner here, Jed York. Came and met Jed. We flew cross country to Atlanta. I was offered the job on that flight. We meet with Kyle and the whole thing's wrapped up. I hadn't even talked to my wife or family yet. It all moved kind of fast, and here we are 8 years later. So sorry for the long story.
No.
No.
I'm hoping we get 3 or 4 more of those. That was phenomenal. Hey, thank you for blessing us with that information. And also, shout out to you being somebody taking initiative and being like, you know what? Yeah, this is something I want. And diving right in and being prepared and knowing that you're prepared.
Jalen Milroe often wears his own branded apparel reading LANK across the front. It's an acronym that stands for Let a Naysayer Know. Being told by his former offensive coordinator, Bill O'Brien.
That is not what I thought.
Is that not what you thought?
Boy, let a naysayer know.
Let a naysayer know.
Of course.
The professional's right in the middle of his lead. That's all right. I just keep going.
You almost lost me again. It got real tight up here as you were. I just want to let you know.
Reese, you were too smooth with that. I thought it was going down. I thought it was going down out here. I looked over at Liz.
Oh, sorry about it. Let a naysayer know.
Let a
naysayer know. That's what we thought the whole time. That's what we all thought.
All right, here we are on the NFL Pro homepage. Let's step into the film room. Show you how quickly, how easily we can find any play from any week. This is week 2. Find a play result. Interceptions, of course. One of the best interceptions I've seen ever. Not the one against Tua. Let's go to Cam Taylor-Britt against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. We can pick which camera angle we want, broadcast or sideline. I'm going to go with the broadcast view. It's just a quick, easy example of how quickly you can use this NFL Pro tool. Awesome, awesome tool. I mean, unbelievable interception. Let's go, baby.
Welcome to Dublin Ireland on this Feel Good Friday, August 23rd, 2024. We are live from J.R. Mahin's. Drinks are on Pat McAfee tonight, fella. Let's go! Hop, 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 hop. The fact that anybody knows we exist in Ireland. We are so incredibly thankful. So to all of you, we say, Gotcha!
State. I just want Kirk to know I got 1,000 phone calls when we got in the playoffs. He didn't have anything to do with them not getting in the playoffs, and I didn't either. But we both got hammered.
Yeah, some of us did get hammered last night. We have real football happening today for the first time in months. This is a beautiful time in a wonderful town. It's fight night, baby! Davis is his name.
We gotta go for Georgia Tech. I gotta go. I would be back in the country if I didn't pick Georgia Tech.
44 yards away to do it. He got it! He got it! And the Yellow Jackets did it!
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this glorious Thanksgiving week. Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, November 26, 2024. Hour 3 starts now. Football is happening all around us. That's AJ Hawk. The Talks Table's here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys fresh off a team ride.
Yeah, incredible.
With the Ravens last night. AP Tone, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Good hit.
Let's take a look at how last week ended up in the pick segment, shall we? Between myself and AJ Hawk. We picked every single NFL game against the spread. Oh, we tied. Okay.
Oh, wow. You're close, brother.
Man, 2 ties there. 9-1
We
and
got
2.
close. Damn.
Man.
I got time. A lot of season left.
Not enough, I don't think, brother.
Yeah. I'm focused on
one's
this
slipping
week.
away.
Yeah. The only
Focused
way.
on this week. Moral victories.
Remember yesterday when you picked the Chargers, I said, are you like 10
Yeah,
times?
I know.
Gave him
I
an
should
out.
have waffled. Why didn't I waffle?
You didn't waffle at all. And to be clear, I thought it was the Chargers as well. Another person that thought it was the Chargers, a 9-year NFL vet. Ladies and gentlemen, host of Everything DB, Good D, Bad D, which we'll be watching in a matter of moments because he will not be here tomorrow to celebrate, obviously, Thanksgiving down there. Ladies and gentlemen, Derrick J. Bolo.
I did walk, but I felt good about the Chargers pick. But, hey, some people are asking questions now about the Chargers team. How they look against good football teams.
I know.
So now they got to answer those questions down the stretch.
I can't wait for somebody to maybe ask that question of Jim Harbaugh. Every football team's a good football team. It's the NFL, you know. And then he tells a story about professional athletes. He'll make some metaphor to the difference between professional athletes and those who are playing in the NFL and everybody else. How every team is a good team. Every team's getting paid. The amount of one-score games that happen in the NFL would tell you that every team could potentially win. But this Baltimore Ravens team feels different. It does. And watching last night, I felt that. That's a game that I thought the Jim Harbaugh effect, they would win.
For sure.
I thought Chargers win this game last night. That's why I only took the Ravens because you took the Chargers, so I had to go opposite. But then as I'm watching it, I'm like, this team's built to do it. Like with Derrick Henry being the, added to that offense. And now obviously on the defense without Roquan Smith, you knew that was going to be a problem against the run game, and they were certainly getting exposed early in that particular fashion. But let's assume he gets healthy with a hamstring and he's back on the field for them before too long for that whole thing. It's like this team, I feel like this year built differently than years past. And I think that's what I took away from last night, AJ Hawk.
Yeah, they are. I mean, Derrick Henry just adds such an element to that team. Like, when he gets the ball and he's going downhill, I'm just thinking of every defender's like, man, please don't let me to be the first guy to get to it. Like, I want to be the second. I need to be the second and third guy. I do not want to be the first guy when this guy has an 8-10 running start downhill.
If you're the first guy, you're eating Patrick Ricard sometimes. So then
either way, you're screwed.
Yeah,
either way, it's a bad
You got to be
kid.
the third guy. You got to be the third guy in most situations to not have to take on a 250 or 285 pound downhill running back. I mean, it's Lamar also under center this year a little bit. I mean, it's like it's a different look for everything they have going on.
Yeah, and they got a late bye week. It still hasn't happened yet. It's week 14. But even if you are that third guy, it's like, hey, yeah, you don't have to take on the first, and maybe you don't have to take on the second. But if you don't tackle Derrick Henry, it's a touchdown. So if you miss a tackle,
he pulls
your
away.
Fault.
Right there. You got to make that tackle. That's a very, very difficult tackle to make.
He's trying to knock you out with those stiff
arms.
I never understood why are offensive guys.
Yeah. Why can they do it?
Hey, Jay, you wonder that same thing?
Huh.
Because some of them are awesome. Like Saquon hit the one the other night. I think it was middle of chest.
Yep.
I think it was like middle of chest.
Yeah.
But there's some highlights. Derrick Henry has a few of them where it is a open palm jab to side of head through ground, and it's damn. If a defender was to do that, what would happen? I'm happy they don't call it because that's
of course
football,
physical football. But it would suck to play defense against that.
Yeah, same with like lower in the head. Like Darius Slay, he got knocked out of the game when the tight end caught that ball on Sunday night and kind of put his head down and to get a few more extra yards. Like if you're on the defense, you do that, you're getting booted against 15 yards.
Yeah, in the Ram truck segment we had last week, an offensive guy who was running full speed and just literally like this, just right to
Sometimes they call that. I disagree with making that. I don't think that should be a call. I think a running back should be able to do whatever he wants. But every once in a while they do make that call, though, if a running back lowers his head.
I haven't seen a lot of it.
They've been finding it.
I haven't either.
They've been finding it.
Yeah, seen
Yeah, you're right.
In the NFL, not in college.
No.
Correct.
How do you feel about the college football playoff ranking coming out tonight?
I don't know. I can't wait to watch McElroy, and hopefully Joey has a few polarizing things he can throw out there for people. But yeah, I'm excited. I think it'll be good.
Ohio State has another massive win. Because Ohio State beats Indiana, though, just Indiana playing them, their strength of schedule now is much different. Because they play the number 2 team in the country is what everybody's assuming Ohio State's going to be. So Indiana's strength of schedule is going to look vastly different than the triple digits ranking that it had before. And then the amount of wins in conference in their season with the chaos that just happened in the SEC, I think the fallout that we thought could come from this particular game, if it went the way that it went, 3 scores, and it started, I don't think it's going to matter as much. I think they're going to value wins just as in general more so now than maybe they would have last week.
Yeah, I mean, I think I think I saw they jumped like 50 spots in strength of schedule just because they played Ohio State. So is strength of schedule a bunch of mumbo jumbo? I don't know. But yeah, I think they're going to go off of wins first and foremost in this tonight.
Heather,
they're in, right?
What's that? Indiana?
Sorry. Indiana's in if they beat Purdue, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Gotta be. Yeah. Okay.
Hey, that Purdue game. What a scary fucking.
They're going to
for real. For real.
I don't know.
I think so too. I think there's a chance. I think there's bingo. I think there's a chance that Indiana does that, especially with how good they've been coming off this loss, how it ended, how Signetti's going to be talking to the boys all week.
Yes,
40 points.
40 points.
All bets are off when you're playing 50. For the old Oaken Bucket. Okay, everyone knows that.
They don't call them the spoiler makers for nothing.
Everybody knows that.
Throw out the record.
Yep.
You know they call them the spoiler makers?
So I heard up in Purdue they got the spoiler makers. Yeah.
50 points.
You think they win by?
Yeah.
29.5 spread.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. That is a lot. But Signetti's team got a chance to go to the 12-team playoff probably. If they get a win, that's a lot to pull from, especially after a loss from Ohio State. And I think Signetti will certainly dabble in that particular department. Ryan Day talking about the game with Michigan. I don't remember. We aired it earlier in the show. I think we were talking to Heather Dinich. We weren't talking to you. You, Ohio State Buckeye. You living in the area. You understanding this game and meaning. Whenever you see Ryan Day say this on Game Time with Ryan Day.
We've felt what it's like to not win this game, and it's bad. It's one of the worst things that's happened to me in my life, quite honestly. Seriously. Other than losing my father and a few other things, it's quite honestly for my family the worst thing that's happened. So we can never have that happen.
So first of all, what do you say?
No, nothing. I don't know. Did you smell that?
Smell what?
It just kind of smells weird in here right now.
Are you being serious?
I'm being dead.
I didn't, but then when you mentioned
like
it, I
gas
kind of.
or what?
No,
it's not that.
You guys having a stroke?
Terrible food.
Really?
Yeah, but that's on me. I'm sorry.
Completely
off right now. I completely fucked this. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I was
so
inside voice.
Inside voice showing up. So you're saying there's a terrible food smell in here right now?
A weird food smell. I don't know if it's terrible.
Does it smell like onions?
Some Brussels sprouts?
There's some onion in it.
I got a whiff of it.
Okay, so
that's on me. I fucked up. I'm sorry.
Who you blaming?
You fudged up?
I fudged up.
Well, it's okay. I mean, it's a good conversation to have because, this is office talk. This is office talk.
Bone is new in here. He might not know. He could be just like eating a whole onion out there.
Like the Grinch, just eating it like
a
microwave.
Like an apple.
There's a chance D-Bone's doing that. I mean, you never know. But the microwave food decisions are certainly a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly a conversation. Every once in a while you turn a corner in there and it's like, did we just cook a salmon, like a live salmon in this place? Is that what we just did? I didn't know we do that.
You got 8 to 10 hours of that in that place if you're doing that.
Yeah, but then you can't blame because it's like trying to eat healthy. What do you want from it? I mean,
Nah, you can eat fish outside. If you want to make fish in a place with other humans, you can go outside.
Well, depending. Okay, I appreciate that is your rules and regs. I think it has naturally become the rules and regs here because of how the reaction is every time that it happens. But let's talk about reactions happening. Ryan Day talking in that Game Time with Ryan Day. Why didn't you tell us about that show, first of all? I should have asked him about Game Time with Ryan Day whenever he was on the program. I should have put it over. That's on me. That's his weekly hit. And him talking like that, how does that make you feel legit? Like, I think the reason why he's saying that, and he says his family as well, is like everybody feels this. And they've been on a bad run with this Michigan team. Now they're 21-point favorites. I assume it'd be impossible to deal with as a family, the Day family, if they lose this game over there in Ohio.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, seeing that, it really hits home of what it means and how much pressure, I guess, is on the coach when things haven't gone well against Michigan and what it can do for, what a victory can do for you. But yeah, I mean, I see Ryan Day's family. I saw Ryan Day's family the week of the Michigan game last year because our daughters play each other in basketball a lot of times. And yeah, you can see it would not be a fun situation. A win would make you so happy, but it would just be so much relief, I believe, at the same time, because a loss is just, it's so fine. Man, I don't get another chance for 364 days to try to right this wrong or right what just happened. It's a tough spot. It's a spot you want to be in, but yeah, it definitely means a lot to them.
It is a spot you want to be in because that means it's a big deal. And anytime you work in a profession, you want to get to something that is considered a big deal. That is what, especially in sports, you're trying to get to these moments and these rivalries. You earn the pressure that comes alongside these situations by all the work and talent that you have and everything like that. But I couldn't even imagine him having to walk around. You said girls' basketball games. That means he's in a gym, so he has to walk in the door, right? When you walk in a gym, everybody on earth sees.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows.
It's a WWE entrance into a gym. Every single time you walk into a gym because it's just one door normally, and it's right next to the bleachers. So everybody fucking sees the entire thing. It's a whole. Ryan Day walking in there with his kids, he has to look like dad, but instead he knows as soon as he walks in there, everybody in there is just going, why is he here? And this guy, that's his whole life. And what Michigan had done, they go win the national championship. They're on a complete opposite end of that spectrum, even though he's won a lot of fucking games. It's like, this week, favored by 21?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
It's the spoiler game. But what's his record against Michigan?
Not good.
Not great, yeah.
1-3?
1-3, I believe.
1-3? Yeah. So he did get a win. Okay, because 3 losses, right? 3 straight here.
But think of it. Yeah, exactly. But how big of a difference? How it can change things, I guess, and how people view you and how it goes. Coach Tressel came in his first year at Ohio State. They went to Michigan and beat them, and I don't think they were supposed to win that game. And that just launched his career. Next year, he wins the national championship, goes undefeated. That just launches you in the right direction.
Urban too, forever, right? Because he's what's
7-0.
That's like the name of some bars or some shit, right? Doesn't he have something named 7-0?
I think the Chop House, maybe.
Does he know anyone that works there? Or do you remember anyone that works there?
What are you talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Vrabel was on the Manning cast last night. Vrabel told the story that when he was the head coach of the Tennessee Titans and played Urban Meyer's Jacksonville Jaguars. We have it?
Yeah, we do have it.
We have it.
Here's Vrabel.
I can relate with Owen Wilson. I was listening earlier, and Urban Meyer asked him, "Do I know you?" And Urban and Meyer was coaching the Titans. He was coaching the Jaguars, and he actually said the same thing to me. I said, "Yeah, I'm the head coach for the Titans, and I worked for you for 2 years."
All right, so Urban Meyer's shit talking is, "Do I know you?" I love that. Said it to Owen Wilson. Said it to Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel couldn't wait to tell that story. You think?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I don't know if he's ever told that before, but the Manicast is the perfect place to do it.
I think so, too. Vrab's dog, OG. Does everybody in Ohio State get along with everybody in Ohio State? Why is Urban Meyer dunking on Mike Vrabel?
I don't know. I would like to talk to Braves and see how this came about. What was like the tone Urban had when he asked him this? Like, I had some follow-up questions for sure.
Yeah. I'm in your division. Also, I
was your
worked for you
D-line.
for 2 years.
I was your D-line coach for 2 years.
Yeah, coaching under you. Fucking prick.
I like that Urban Meyer shit talking though knows no boundaries. I could have worked for him. We spent family and holidays together. Hey, coach, good to see you. Do I know you? That's why I fucking.
Oh, so you think it was shit talking?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I think the do I know you is shit talking.
I don't think you remember.
That was my thing. Yeah.
No way. Urban Meyer does not know who Mike Vrabel is.
For sure, he didn't know.
Bad memory.
I mean, there's a chance. Remember, he was like watching film with the Rams and was like, "This is 99. It's pretty good, huh?" Right?
Oh yeah. Then he said every week is Alabama.
Yeah. Like, yeah. No shit. A little bit better than Alabama every week.
He's shit talking.
I don't know.
Maybe just dial it in.
there.
Here's Mike Vrabel, a couple spots down from Coach Urban Meyer, doing the Urban Meyer at Ohio State lean or stance that we've seen him in. It's I love that about Vrabes. I enjoy the fact, and also if that's how Urban Meyer talks shit to you, do I know you? I didn't think so.
It's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
It's not bad at all.
If he's just dropping that on everybody. Do you got any of these? I got fucking multiple schools.
Vrabel after that must have been too. Just like, wait, is Urban Meyer not fucking no way?
Yeah, did Vrabes laugh in his face and then give an answer? What do you? How do you think it?
I had, that's like I'm saying. I had a lot of follow-ups when I heard this, but Braves had to laugh. They had, like then what? When you said that to him, Braves, how was his response?
Good time.
Oh,
so are you guys?
Yeah.
So Ohio State. How do we? Ohio State. We're all like this, right? We know who Mike Vrabel
big
is.
time. Yeah.
Ryan Day said maybe you guys come back and put some pads on. I don't know if you saw that.
Whoa.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Bobby has done that.
Bobby has worn pads at practice.
Yeah, you know that we told you he used to go to bowl practice when I think they changed the rule and you can't do that. But remember, Saban started using ex-players to come back in bowl practice. Bobby did it 2 or 3 years in a row and always would try to get me to do it. And I was like, no chance.
Bobby
those
rules.
guys were giant.
While he was still in the NFL.
How old is Bobby? Yeah, how old is Bobby whenever he's
He's 41 right now. He probably was 36, 37.
How many years out of the NFL?
6, 7 years maybe.
You just want to strap him up.
Yeah.
I got an opportunity to put the pads on again. I'm ready for this. I've been waiting.
He told me. He said, "Hey, it'd be great, man. Like honestly, it's funny. You go a little 9-on-7." He said, "They don't make you do individual drills or anything." And I was like, "Okay, thanks, Bob. I'm glad I'm doing the individual."
They don't make you. You're an adult, bro.
Yeah.
You should say
Yeah. I was like, I don't know, Bob. Those guys are pretty. But I see some of those O linemen; they would just swallow me. Like I'm not going to go throw my head in there.
Yeah, how did he perform?
Yeah,
what was he like?
Oh, he said he did great. He said he felt great. He said he felt good for real. He said he felt really good.
Get any deflections on any passes or anything?
Oh, I'm sure Bobby was, Tommy Tryhard out there. I bet he was hustling every day.
You need tape. Who was the coach? Urban.
That was Urban, I believe. Yeah.
Does he know? He knows Bobby.
No way.
He's not asking if he knows.
Bobby was his shadow. What do you mean? Bobby's at the Woody Hayes every day.
42? Yeah, I think I remember that kid.
I remember he played good ball for us one bowl practice.
Got our boys ready.
Kept messing up our look. We could never get this playoff because our scout team middle backer was kept wrecking shop.
I said, who is this guy? They said he's a 36-year-old. I said, oh, that makes sense.
Okay.
That's how he's seemingly playing out there. Ryan Day, his confidence going into Indiana, I assume it's the same going in against Michigan?
Yeah, it's got to be, don't you think? I mean, this is a whole week, too. Like, this Michigan week is a thing every single day.
Michigan fans are not expecting to win this game.
No.
So Michigan fans aren't going to take it as hard as if Michigan beats Ohio State this year.
Oh, boy.
Man.
No way.
He might get fired on Monday.
Yeah.
Still be in the playoff, though. Still be in the
That'd be huge.
Yeah,
No
with
way.
Jim Knowles being the head coach.
DC.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they're talking about them losing to Indiana and being out of the playoff, they lose to Michigan, they're definitely out of the playoff.
Nah, I think at this point it's all good because the chaos that just took place. I think, personally.
Oh, with all the other teams losing.
Yeah, that's what I
True,
I
'cause they don't
think
have
now it's like much more of a conversation everywhere else.
Who'd be in the Big Ten championship?
I think Ohio State, Oregon.
Even if they lost.
No, Indiana.
If they win.
Indiana or Penn State.
Penn State.
Hold on, Heather broke it down.
Indiana does not want that, right? Indiana does not want that.
No, they do not.
So if Indiana wins and Ohio State and Penn State lose, Indiana's in.
Correct.
If Penn State loses and Ohio State and Indiana win, obviously Ohio State is in. If Ohio State loses and Penn State and Indiana win, I think common opponent Penn State's in over Indiana. I think is the way it works. Marissa from Game Day broke it down on the meeting in the meeting on Monday. But I think that is the case. If one of them wins and the other two lose, they're in.
Mm-hmm.
But if two of them win, they go to obviously head-to-head for Ohio State, Indiana, and then Penn State, Indiana. I think it's common opponent score or something like that. And I think Penn State is ahead of Indiana in that, so Penn State would go through. Yeah, there's a lot of shit still left wide open.
Nuts.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of shit. Texas A&M, Texas, winner of that gets the SEC championship, losers out. Like Texas.
Good. All these games, like all these big games, and especially games that we know like your whole season hinges on it's good. It's good to watch.
It is good to watch. Michigan being a spoiler, though.
Oh.
After pulling off the Bryce Underwood signing, I'd be like going into the offseason on like really high.
Yeah, we're going.
Yeah, we are. 21-point dogs. Think about this. Knocked them out of the entire thing. Oh, no. No, they'd still be in it. Don't worry about it, Ryan. Everything's okay.
Yeah.
They still be.
God damn, I hope they win for Ryan Day and his family.
I know.
They got this. Also, got to go win the whole thing, too.
I think they win by like Connor when he was saying about Indiana. I think that's how I feel about Ohio State versus Michigan this week, by 50.
All right, hey, okay.
Got to play the game.
Feel good about Boston.
Got to play the game.
Davis Warren was slinging it against Northwestern. You got to say.
Who?
Northwestern. I was watching the highlights to maybe get some false hope about Michigan, and it was going well. And then in the second quarter, Davis Warren just rifles one right to Northwestern safety. It's like, oh, man, I think we still might be in trouble.
Ohio State's so good, too.
Yeah. They're nasty.
Watching that loss to Oregon, obviously, is going to get chatted about with, everything judging Ohio State. Like Oregon, very good football team. Very good football team. Brand new facilities on the way, too, when they already have state-of-the-art facilities. It's like in the modern world, they are going, just like Ohio State's going in this entire thing. Mac Brown's not going to go. He got fired, dude.
No.
He got fired.
Damn shame.
One last game.
But he's coaching this week, though?
I think it's the last game.
One last ride.
That would be awkward. Would you want to do that?
So if you're Mac Brown, after everything you've done, would you want one last game? I think so, right? If I was like newer coach, I don't want to.
That's what I'm saying, though. Why fire him?
Yeah.
Why not have that maybe conversation privately? Maybe.
Just after.
The reports are they tried having these conversations privately a bunch of times, being like, hey, maybe you retire after this year. And he said, no, I want to keep coaching. So
that's weird.
So then right before they're bowl eligible, 6th straight bowl appearance, second longest streak in school history. It trails a 7-year stretch from 92 to 98, who Mac Brown also the coach of that particular time. So there's a lot of stats about Mac Brown's greatness and everything he's contributed to college ball. And we like to say thank you, Coach.
Yeah. Thank you, Coach. West Virginia.
Thank you, Coach. Now, if he doesn't want to retire, like he allegedly, potentially said from some of the reports, AD Bubba, said, well, if you're not retiring, you're not coaching here. And we're going to make that announcement now. I think in Hawaii, I don't know. I don't know how it all came together, but Mac Brown probably was a little bit surprised, as we all were. But, yeah, I don't know if he's coaching bowl game, though. I don't know. I think
they made it seem like this next game is the last one.
Yeah.
Way to go, Mac.
Hell of a run. Yeah, hell of a run.
Coach is one of the best national championships I ever watched.
Texas fans.
Texas USC, that was crazy.
So sweet.
Yeah, great game.
Loved it. He came on our show, and he was the one that gave us the line, when you would win, it was relief. When you would lose, it was devastating. He said that's what it got to Texas because the expectations were so high. And it was like, oh, that's a great way to view things. There's a lot of jobs that are like that. College football, definitely, but in a lot of things, there's those types of jobs. When you have a success, it's just like, thank God that happened. And when you don't have a success, it's like you're the worst person on earth. He said he started feeling that at Texas. He goes back to North Carolina, place he started. Obviously, had a lot of success with his wife, Sherry.
Mrs. Brown.
No, she has a name. It's her first name. He says it all the time.
Sally.
Sally? All right, Sally.
Good pull.
Miss Sally. Thank you. Miss Sally, very much wanted to go back into that community, Chapel Hill, because how much they loved it and moved back in there and coach and everything. So I don't know how it works out for Mac Brown going forward. I don't know if he's officially retired or if it's going to force him to retire or if he's going to go coach at West Virginia next year.
Yeah, maybe.
Or what's that?
They might win the national championship.
Be sweet, right?
North Carolina?
Next year? You're talking about this year.
West Virginia
is
not statistically out of it.
Mathematically, we still have a road.
I'm willing to wager my right hand.
Well, yeah.
Okay, that's binding. Okay, that is binding. That is binding right there.
Okay.
You're not getting any right hand back. This is a one-way bet that you were wagering.
The odds aren't high, but the Big 12 is just still up for grabs right now.
Yeah, West Virginia could potentially go in there, win that thing. And then when they get in the dance, nobody wants to see them.
No. West Virginia, Georgia, could you imagine?
Who can really win it? Arizona State?
Arizona State can definitely
Colorado
win.
still in it?
No.
Or no.
They need help.
Done?
I guess mathematically not eliminated.
Okay.
But the loss to Kansas does not help.
Okay.
BYU 2 losses in a row. I don't think that knocks them out either.
No, Arizona State has to play Arizona. BYU, Arizona State, BYU,
Iowa
K-State. Iowa State's actually.
Campbell.
I think most likely it's actually Arizona State, Iowa State. Iowa State's got Kansas State though, I think. So like it's still all very.
Damn.
Yeah, it is. The Big 12 is actually chaos.
Wide open.
It is. It is. Lost to Kansas though. For Colorado. Don't love that. I like that Coach Prime utilized it as a coaching moment, and he also said that this upcoming week is not the last time you're going to see Travis and Shador in a Colorado uniform. They will play in the bowl game. He said.
Okay.
So I like that Coach Prime is kind of like, hey, he's 2 guys could potentially be top 5 picks. At least one of these guys is going to be a top 5 pick. They're going to be playing in a bowl game, no matter where they go, because that became a real thing for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, well, if they get hurt, they're going to be judged. It's like Prime's like,
It still will. It will be this year, too.
what's that?
If you're not in the playoff, we'll see plenty of guys skip the bowl games.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
No doubt.
I get it. I understand the guys that do. Like, I don't know.
I get it both.
I get it.
Both sides.
I understand business-wise, it's certainly a thing, but like college, you like grow with each other. Now, I don't know what it's like now.
I agree.
Yeah, but like, you know, I don't know what it's like now.
But you got people in your ear from even a younger age now, like, what is it really like? Hey, you're projected to be a first day pick. If you go to the Poinsettia Bowl and tear your Achilles, then you could go undrafted. Like, they got people scaring them to death, I think.
Yeah, but one last time with the boys, I think is something that doesn't really matter as much because of the amount of transferring and everything. Even though you would hope that the teams would build up a bond enough that you would want to do that. So there's arguments for the business side of it. Yeah. I could certainly see that. But like Bryce Young, Will Anderson, I think they went number 1 and number 3.
Yep.
Yep.
In the draft, they played for Alabama in non
against Kansas State
playoff game, and they won by.
Yeah, beat the shit out of them.
Quite a bit.
That's why, like, when the Florida State thing happened last year and none of their guys played, there were some people saying, me as well, like, you guys lose by 50-something. That's not a good way for the story
to go out.
That's not a way for the story. We're like, well, none of our guys played because they wanted. It's like, I understand that move, but like just a year ago, Alabama could have done it. Their guys. It's like, once again, college ball.
Yep, that's right.
It never ends. It never fucking ends, which is why we can't wait for tonight. Speaking of waiting, let's wait no longer for Everything DB, Good D, Bad D, with Darius Butler.
Let's go. This week's theme kind of is tips and overthrows. And obviously, if you are a free safety, you should thrive off of those. Xavier McKinney, Defensive Player of the Year candidate, I believe. You got him on the watch list? Okay.
Yeah, he is on a watch list. He should be.
Tied up there, leading the NFL with 7 interceptions. That's another one. Always in the right position, always reading the quarterback. We always talk about tips and overthrows all the time as defenders. All the underneath defenders did their job. He's in position, gets one, tries to take it back in the house. Just Xavier McKinney doing his thing all year long.
What a guy. He was a giant.
Yeah,
he was.
Love the communication. That lets you know, hey, well coached. Love the disguise. If you go back to the beginning, great disguise. He's down right now. Looks like nobody in the middle of the field. Post snap, rotates to the middle of the field, becomes a 3 deep. And you can see the window where Brandon Allen tries to throw it to Debo's back shoulder, off-target throw. We saw this earlier in the year with, I believe, a Minnesota Vikings interception on a tip and overthrow. It's a very, very similar situation. When you're trying to fit into those windows as a quarterback, those zone windows, sometimes you want a receiver to sit in a certain one. When you don't have reps with that receiver, you get throws and outcomes like this.
This is also why accuracy is so important, not just for completions, but also if you're just off by, what's that, about a foot?
Yep.
That's a tough catch all of a sudden.
It's a lot for a guy running full speed.
And that ball's going up in the air as opposed to right here, which is the difference between college and the NFL.
Yep.
Like, that is the difference. That's the separator. Yeah, that is the separator.
And Brock Purdy being unbelievable at quarterback.
Yeah, making the right decision.
Yeah, because obviously you can tell it does make a difference.
Well, where's the moxie of this night? What's going on? Are they still coming out with
Yeah, it gets posted.
They did
every
Green
week.
Bay.
Yep, it gets posted every week.
It's the defense, though. Their defense just doesn't feel the same. Like that was like their offense was always good, but every time, like especially when the Packers would go play them, it's like, oh Jesus Christ! Like their defense is just gonna be flying all over the field, and it doesn't really feel like that's the case this year.
What do they say? D-line vastly different than
That's what Schefter said.
Yeah, that's a
All
big game.
four were
All
up.
right, let's go to the next everything D big good D.
And once again, standing alone with the theme, this is a bad overthrow from Kyler Murray, who's having one of his best seasons. 4th and 1. You'll see Devon Witherspoon up top come off the edge. If you run this back, we all know how athletic, how fast Kyler Murray is. So you do kind of the boot here and watch Witherspoon. Most guys, once they take this angle, if you pause it here and you're in that position, before he turns his hip, almost speed turns right when he gets to the middle of the field and meets Kyler Murray to that sideline, it's not too many DBs, too many players that can flip their hips and do that. The overthrow here, Kobe Bryant, you don't just catch the ball, but you take that thing back to the crib. It's a huge, huge moment in this Seattle game to get them to win and take the lead in the NFC West. I believe he got fined for the old beast mode celebration.
What'd he do? What'd he do?
Fix his belt.
Coming off the edge here, obviously you want to be in there to run game. Boom, he pulls it. He understands can't put that foot in the ground and just go back. So, hey, I got to put it in the ground. Speed turn, beat him to the spot. I mean, just pursuit, just an absolute dog. Forces a terrible, terrible overthrow from Kyler, and then you pick it off and take that thing back to the crib.
Are the Seahawks all the way back? They're very much.
Somebody's got to separate themselves. In that
Very much. And we were worried about them, obviously. Whole new culture, whole new team. Bill's Mafia took that place over.
Gotta stop turning the ball over in the red area. Okay. You are Geno Smith. You are the Seattle Seahawks. That is the biggest thorn in their side right now. Another interception was in this game from the Cardinals, but they didn't make it because they took the L. But it was in the red area, up 13-6. You had a field goal. I believe it was on 3rd down. You got to throw it away. He threw it into trouble. Ended up in an interception.
They'll figure it out. They'll figure it out. I just said, whoa, because I saw the next play. How about the Miami Dolphins on there?
You good?
Is this bad, D?
It's every week with this fucking.
No,
is this bad, D?
This is good, D. This is good, D.
The Patriots on offense? No, it's not bad,
week
D.
we've shown some good Drake. You got to win, typically, to get up on here.
Just do the play.
The good D segment. Jalen Ramsey bringing pressure from the slot. You got a linebacker blitzing as well. Drake Mays in trouble. Made an overthrow, and you'll see Dobson make a phenomenal one-hand catch. A couple back-to-back weeks now, we had the big fellas on here making some super athletic plays. Not really overthrow. So coming off the block, was engaged in the block, had his eyes back on the quarterback. Obviously, you see the pressure in his face off the edge.
Hey, this is one of those ones where Drake May in college would have been able to get around Jalen. But now with Jalen Ramsey being Jalen Ramsey, it's like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
That is the difference.
Back-to-back plays, you're bringing probably both of those secondaries' best DBs off the edge. When you bring a DB off the edge, you expect him to be obviously the better athlete, even with these very athletic quarterbacks. Kyler Murray last play, Drake May here, he makes a throw over the top, under duress, and that's a phenomenal play from a big man right here. One-handed, falling back. That's a great play. Had to make the clip.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's team defense though. Back-to-back pressure, leading the quarterback to a bad situation, causing an off-target throw, and then creating that turnover.
Can we get this guy's dims? How big? How tall?
Good question.
Thanks to the Seahawks for letting him go in the middle of the season too. Dolphins just picked him up.
Was he their leading tackler or?
He was one of them.
6 foot 238.
Guy's 240 right there.
It's an athlete. It's an athlete.
Good snack.
High point, coming off the block, falling back one-handed.
AJ, how sweet is that? That would be so cool. I'm sure you have one of these somewhere in your resume, but not everybody obviously does. That's
what a play. Yeah, coming off the block is what's most impressive. And if he doesn't catch that, I mean, that'd be a completion.
That's a touchdown.
All right, here we go. Bad D.
Bad D. Now, we've seen a few of these across the league.
They win the game and they're all bad.
They did win the game, but this is a play. This is a teaching moment for everybody. I think down bottom, run it back to the very beginning. I'm all about swag. I'm all about swag down here at the nickel. You got the 4x1 situation. Get out there, man. Have some sense of urgency. Get set and be ready to flip your hips. The Commanders do a good job here kind of flooding a zone. So you see they got 4 receivers down at the bottom of the screen, only 1 up top. So you got a bunch of guys running routes. You got a flat route. You got 2 guys clearing it out. And then you got Terry McLaurin lined up at 3. He's wide receiver number 3 of the 4. And he's going to want to run a wheel route. And 9 times out of 10, the flat defender number 2 right here, he's responsible to carry that wheel route all the way up the sideline. We call that number 2 through your zone. So the first one would be the receiver, and he's responsible for 2. But you had guys deep because of the situation.
Jeez.
So just terrible angles. This is all-time bad D. It won't go in the Hall of Fame like Stevenson, but, I mean, it's damn near. It's a finalist. They made it.
It's a finalist.
Too high vision. I think 2's an issue here, and I also think safety, bad angle. I mean, the corner, Butler back there. Sorry, Butler. And then the safety taking another bad angle.
Falls down.
Scary Terry takes it all the way to the end zone.
Extra point.
And then the fucking kicker missed the extra point. And they end up losing
His
the
name's
game.
Austin Kicker. His name's Austin.
Oh, yeah, Austin Kicker. I'm sorry. So, but that is bad D. You can't have that letdown. You got lucky and won the game, but you can't have that.
Ladies and gentlemen, everything DB, good DB.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, D-Butt.
Thank you, D-Butch, for that.
sir.
You made us smarter, made us better. AJ, you think D-Butch on this Thanksgiving weekend should do something for maybe a giveaway?
Yeah, what do you? I mean, is he going to putt again? I think did he almost make it last time?
I don't know. DB,
Yeah, shoot.
the putting was not great.
Yeah, I don't
Maybe
think
move
putting.
it up a little bit further. It wasn't close enough.
Also, the
Wasn't
putting,
close, Gumps.
the putting is because you have to hit so many. It's not really.
It is kind of a
Shoot a basketball. Do the basketball, not a football.
Okay, you want to shoot a basketball from the stage, or what do you want him to shoot?
I mean, I think from the stage is almost a gimme for D, but you can't move him any closer.
The guy's a shooter.
Agreed.
Me, I haven't hit
Look
the
at it.
stage
You see
in
the clips of him at the rec center just scoring 30 and 10 every night.
Guy's down there at the rec.
We got basketball stage.
Is that what you want?
Let's do it.
They're going to hit a slap shot with the hockey sweater.
Yeah, with the sweater on. Pop with the sweater on. Okay, so which hoop are you going to? This one over here?
Yeah.
All right. D-Butch, if you put that basketball into that hoop right over yonder, we will give 30 people $500 on this Thanksgiving Tuesday.
Come on.
All you got to do is put the ball in the hoop. Stage shot, moon shot. How you feel? Pretty good. You found it.
Range finder.
Good.
Feels like you found out where it needs to go now. I will say D-Butch is once, at one time, a champion in here at a basketball game.
Once.
Yep. Multiple times, but at one time, that was certainly before right now time.
The slander. No, it's something he's never done.
What's that?
Lost to AQ and D-Bone.
All right. Well, that was an embarrassment.
Ever.
That was an embarrassment.
Especially holding the belts.
Yeah, but that's the thing about our particular team. We take on all challengers. There's
Fighting
no
champs.
way AQ and D-Bone should have been given an opportunity to play for the championship.
I agree.
And we said, you know what? For the good of the game, for the good of the Thunderdome, we'll let these. I'm not going to say
it wasn't good for the
Say
game
what?
either. And
What do you mean?
their team name is the Fatsos. So you can say we let these Fatsos play us.
Self-proclaimed fatsos. They named themselves.
Their offensive linemen, both of them.
Yeah.
But
Also, that
anyways.
was game 2, by the way.
Yeah,
We did win game 1.
So
We gave them 2 title opportunities.
Okay.
Nonetheless, it wasn't a good day for any of us.
Sure.
Okay? Don't need to bring that up right now. We need good energy.
Well, don't lie about my teammate. Then.
Well, one time he was a champion. That's not a now time.
One
That was
time,
at
multiple times?
Multiple times at one time, though. He was a champion.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, at multiple different times throughout the history.
There it is.
This man has been champion.
He's a multi-champion.
Yes, he is.
There you go.
Multi-contender as well, which is happening currently right now.
Mhm.
You know, he is currently contending.
That's true.
Every single day to become a champion here yet again. Because Foxy and I are the champs currently, and even when we're not playing good ball, we're still winning. And that's good news.
That's all defense right there.
Didn't put him up yesterday, though. That's weird.
I was out here shooting yesterday. I was ready.
I was ready.
Where were you guys?
I was ready.
You were sleeping on job.
Sleeping on the job, yeah, right.
You were sleeping on job, too. You guys worried about UConn yesterday, Dan Hurley.
Me?
Yeah, you guys
Mick,
were all
I'm
worried about Dan Hurley.
Me, I'm worried about Mick White Guy trying to live up to the main event, which, by the way, he can't.
No, Mick White Guy's a dog.
Yeah.
So is
Mick
Dan
White-
Hurley. I didn't like, okay, I know they were all wearing pink polos.
Sure.
How many coaches they got down there, man?
15.
How many are you allowed
That's
to
Penny
have?
Hardaway, brother. He's got those boys playing.
I respect Penny. I like what Memphis did. That's a big win over UConn yesterday. One of the pink polos, though, was doing this to Dan Hurley in the Connecticut team.
It robbed us.
I think that's when Dan Hurley really was at it. That was the one that
Can't leave
got
it
him.
up for
I
the
think that
ref.
was the one that pushed him over the edge.
Yeah.
Some guy, he could do the "Do I know you" thing from Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
And then this guy's telling his team what to do, and then there's an interaction, obviously almost a fight, I think, that happened. That was a great game.
It was.
That was exhilarating. That was fun to watch. And then Dan Hurley coming out afterwards, cutting promos. If I called that shitty of a call, I would expect somebody to maybe Maybe come out a little bit. Just straight up. Yeah. Going to get fined so much money.
Oh, yeah.
Worth it.
I gave them Oppenheimer today.
Then he also says, one of the guys I've never seen, I didn't even know he reffed college basketball. He did that, do I know you, to one of the refs.
He did.
In that moment, guy not boxing out, you're going to call that call?
Bad call.
Guy half-ass box out. Our guy goes up and gets it at that time for the good of basketball.
Okay.
You're going to call that call? Yeah, maybe I dropped to my knees because I lost my breath because that call was so shitty. This is an actual press conference. Dan Hurley, thank you, brother.
Yep. Oh, yeah, Hurley.
You can tell it was November game, too, because he wouldn't have got that tech at the end if it was a game that mattered.
Well, I think that's what Dan Hurley was trying to say. Are we serious? We flew all the way fucking out here for the Maui Invitational?
Okay.
UConn's, are you guys going to go? You're throwing a football?
Oh, okay.
Why? Because UConn's loss made you think.
Sorry to fight the boss, yeah. I don't like our vibes right now. We need another win. Love you, Dan.
Well, the UConn football team is certainly good vibes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Darius, you're going to throw that football to where? Final Boss's box. All right.
Ooh. Hit his box.
If D. Butch is able to put the ball into the Final Boss's box, red one, great movie. There's other people saying other things.
Who?
Yeah.
But they don't get it.
The haters.
You're going in to watch a rock movie about Santa Claus. Good movie.
I thought it was great.
Thank you, Toad. That was very nice of you. There were some people that have said some bad things about that movie.
Yeah.
They don't know.
People are kind of killing it. I just hope more people go see it.
Well, I go see it.
I hope more people
Too
go
late
see
now.
it.
It's The Rock. The
Never
first
too
week.
Never too late.
That had to be a big budget.
It's The Rock doing Santa
That's
Claus.
a very big
I'm
one.
going to go
I
watch.
think it was independent.
Go watch. Go help. I went.
I will.
Paid for 4 tickets. Only 2 of us went.
See, we need more people to do that. Otherwise, they're
Yep.
not going to be giving The Rock too many more of these opportunities.
No, what are you talking about? This is a passion project. The red one? Come on.
I know. I'm just saying they're not going to be doing. Hey, Rock, this cost $250 million to make. It made $22 million opening weekend.
I don't like that. I think more people need to know about it.
I agree. Although they have been marketing this like crazy. It's everywhere.
But people didn't see it in the front row in IMAX like he watched Oppenheimer.
That's a good point. That is a good
That's
point.
the way you're supposed to watch it.
People didn't know that movie was out. You know, isn't Thanksgiving weekend a big movie
It is.
drop?
Yeah. It is.
So them dropping that before,
And
I
I've
think,
heard people are like, "Hey, Gladiator 2, fuck that. I want to go see Red 1."
Fuck that.
Wicked. Yeah.
Which is
fuck
getting
that. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Give me Red 1.
Doesn't he have another one?
Gladiator 2 is coming out this weekend?
Yeah, it's out, yeah.
Last weekend it came out. So
Oh, my
a lot
God.
of people are going this weekend.
Yeah.
Wicked had like one of the biggest openings ever for a
Also, go
musical.
check out Red One.
Yeah.
Go check out Red
Movie
One.
Hop. Pay for
And,
more.
Yes.
yeah, Moana 2 is coming out too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
That'll dominate.
November 27th, Moana 2 is coming out.
That
There you
live
go.
action is right around the corner.
Yeah, boom. So we're good. We're good. But go check out Red One. Buy a couple extra tickets too if you're able.
Yeah, maybe 15 to 16 extra tickets.
Actually,
Take your friend. Take your family.
After Moana 2 comes out, Rock probably will be the biggest star in the box office.
Again.
Yeah.
Again. Okay, so I don't need what you're saying over there.
I agree. I'm just saying I don't know how many more, tentpole action movies The Rock's going to be the leading man on.
Well, wait until you see what this Moana 2 does.
Oh, I know. That's going to
Listen, kid, I can go on and on. I can explain every natural phenomenon. How about when he just drops that in the middle of a
Incredible. Incredible. Listen, I love The Rock. That's why more people need to go see this.
Love you, Dwayne.
Love you, Dwayne.
Love you,
DJ.
Dwayne.
Tomorrow is when Moana 2 comes out.
Is he getting back in the ring?
Moana 2's out tomorrow? See, there's something.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Middle
The
of
Rock's
the week.
back.
He'll be just fine.
Yep.
That's why they released it right after Red One.
Couldn't have both same.
Not gonna.
I don't. If The Rock would have wrote it, maybe a little bit better, probably, if I had to guess.
Which one?
I don't know. Red One.
Okay.
Did he?
No.
No.
I think.
Yeah, right.
Wait.
I'm sure he
I
produced.
don't know if he's a writer.
He's a legend. I saw
Use you.
I saw what's it called? Forget it. He does a giveaway with his production crew on Fridays, I think, where they pull a raffle number and people win a
I saw
pot.
that.
Fucking Friday.
Yeah, it's
Ton of money.
I think it is fucking Friday. No, that is
Dana White.
It's Dana White. I don't think it's fucking Friday. He's giving away money. You're right.
Oh, you could actually go today and get tickets at $350
To what?
to Moana 2.
Let's do that. Let's do that. For the good of The Rock.
Yeah. Let's go see that.
I saw a lot of what you were saying out there about Red One.
Yeah, and I'm just reporting what's out there.
Journalistic standard.
Exactly.
What you go to school for?
Well, I may have been a film major, so, I might know a thing or two about, box office receipts and, what stuff's tracking to do, how much stuff needs to make for considering the budget. And like I said, every time you turn on ESPN, you're seeing a Red One commercial, and we just...
Yeah, but I saw that older lady who... she dropped herself commercial on ESPN too. There's
the Lifeline lady?
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, she fell and she couldn't get up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she died.
No, she got.
She had the button.
She had the button.
Oh,
Life alert.
Yeah.
Life alert.
Yeah.
I see Dano a lot, always pumping up the insurance people on that commercial.
Oh yeah, him and Laura, I believe, are in an insurance commercial.
Nationwide.
Jage is in a lot of commercials.
Yeah.
Dix, Miller Lite.
There was another one.
Let's see, Jason
Peloton.
with the Watts. The whole family.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jason Kelsey's in a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
He's in a lot of commercials.
Love those.
No. He's in a lot of commercials. Jason Kelsey's in a lot of commercials. He's got to be getting paid so much money for all those commercials.
Oh,
yeah.
I think a big problem with commercials is they're always the same one. You need diversity of the commercials.
Shane Gillis, Bud Light.
Yeah.
Boom.
All of them are so good.
Yeah, and I think he has a pretty good part of
the newest one is hilarious.
Him and who's this guy? His writing partner.
It's the guy. It's not the guy from
manager.
Tires was in.
That he does his podcast with?
Yeah.
Matt McCusker or whatever.
Matt McCusker, yeah.
Yeah,
McCusker.
I think they, which is smart by them. We'll take it from here, nurse.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, why?
With the bedpan. Right to Vince McMahon's forehead. Dong. Got it from here, nurse.
That was a good one.
That was great. I need to watch that. It's been a while.
I enjoyed
Watch
that.
that now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Darius J. Butler, a UConn man.
Yeah.
A 9-year NFL vet. One of the biggest brains in football. The 33rd team got hired to, led by Tannenbaum and also Adam Gase in there.
Sure.
Were they on the Jets before?
Yep, they've been there. They know the building.
Yeah.
They've both exited the building, but they do know the workings of the building. They are being hired as a consultation firm by the Johnsons to find their next general manager coach.
Okay.
If we were ever to get hired or paid millions of dollars from an NFL team to help them and consult them, this man's brain would be a massive piece of that. You're talking about football brain through and through.
Yeah.
You're talking about phenomenal athlete. You're talking about great human, great dad. Now, can he be a great man for 30 people? On this Thanksgiving week, they're going to wake up on Thanksgiving morning. Now, the winners will not be paid by Thanksgiving.
No.
But they'll know it's coming.
That's right.
And they'll say, what am I thankful for this year? I'm thankful that D-Butch, in a Florida Panthers sweater, put a football into the final boss's box.
Oh, yeah.
30 people, $500. Short as shit. I mean, short as shit.
It's on.
Good line.
Good line.
AJ Hawk is over in Ohio on this glorious Thanksgiving week. What is your message to D-Butch as he attempts to win 30 people $500?
Well, does D-Butch have his ears in? Does he have it plugged in?
I can't hear. We'll relay the message.
That's all right. Positive. Yeah. Thumbs up, D-Butch. You're going to kill it. Good job. Relay that.
He said thumbs up. Good job. You're going to kill it. Relay that. Pretty piss-poor message.
Yeah, certainly.
It's hard to be a translator. I don't want to give you a long thing to translate. You know?
He didn't want to give you a long thing to translate, But he's actually talking to me. He wasn't talking to you. All right, anyways, 30 people, $500. Still has not given you a good message at all. Win in spite of AJ. Happy Thanksgiving, Age. And the 30 people who just won $500. All you got to do is repost this post, say something nice to somebody, put what you're thankful for, and also put the easiest way to pay you digitally. We can't thank you enough. Great work, D-Butch.
Oh, yeah.
Great work this week. We're thankful for you, buddy.
Thank you, boys. Thank you, AJ.
We're off Thursday and
Good
Friday.
job.
Great motivation from AJ. That big thumbs up really sealed the deal.
It did.
Champion.
All right, we'll be back tomorrow. Before we get out of here, though, we missed a birthday yesterday. Snuck by.
Yep.
We should have known.
Should have.
Had a little bit of a glow to him yesterday, didn't he?
Yeah.
He's kind of floating and hovering around.
Boy, I'm bummed out about this.
Aren't you? Whose birthday was yesterday, Connor?
Whose birthday was yesterday?
Yeah, who do you...
Well, of course, we all know November 25th is one of our favorite days.
It certainly is.
And,
Yeah.
a lot of people are in this office, and I know all their birthdays. So that's exactly why I didn't say happy birthday to
Is it Connor's?
D-Bone?
Oh, yeah! Happy birthday,
Fucking
D-Bone!
nailed it.
Happy birthday, D-Bone.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. D-Bone, if you could come out to the jam stage, D-Bone. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, D-Bone. Proud of you, buddy. Happy belated.
Happy birthday.
Now get back on the bulldozer outside.
Love you, D-Bone.
When you asked Connor, I thought it was his birthday yesterday.
No. Connor had no idea whose birthday it was. So I could tell by his face over there. Way to pull that one off.
Come on. I know everyone's birthday, so.
Yeah, of course. That was the one we didn't know?
Yeah, no.
Newest to the building. Got a text from Zito last night screenshotting, I believe, D-Bone's girlfriend's Instagram story or something like that. Or,
fuck.
Yeah, we missed it. That's exactly what he said. That's exactly what he said. We missed it. Want a cake for tomorrow? Yes, have to. So, D-Bone, we apologize for missing it. Happy birthday to you, buddy.
Happy birthday, Bone.
D-Bone's a weapon.
Yeah.
Football guy who just taught himself how to become a graphic designer.
Mm-hmm.
Every once in a while, that football guy thing just shows up in the middle of his graphic designing job.
Mm-hmm.
And it's beautiful. And he does dress like a fucking asshole.
True.
Yeah.
I mean,
it would be fine if he didn't, if the tassel hat wasn't on all day.
As soon as
he runs hot though. Okay.
His 33 fits are the best.
Well, what
Second
he wears
best
during
after
basketball, I guess, is certainly something. I mean, I appreciate that he gets out. He's a pretty good jumper.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty good jumper. Like, good jumper, I would say.
Definitely.
Always wants to play the pickup because he's 25 years old.
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
Got all the energy.
Let's play ones. Let's play ones.
Yeah, it's called out AQ. Loses 3-0 AQ. Obviously, AQ was not going to lose that game.
No.
There was no chance that game was either ending or with an AQ win. That is how that was going to go. But D-Bone has been a fantastic addition to the Thunderdome.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy the shit out of it. Him dressing as Kane, full go.
So good.
Fantastic.
That was good. That was.
Walking in, seeing his ass just sitting there.
Yeah.
Typing on a computer.
Yeah. And not realizing, like, hey, you get into this, get up at, 11:35, but he drove in at 7 a.m., full makeup on. Incredible.
Dude's awesome. And his graphics are
Yeah.
real deal.
Top notch.
Takes a lot of pride in it. Works his ass off. Football guy.
Mm-hmm.
So we're lucky. Happy birthday. Happy you survived another year. Can't wait for another trip around the sun, D-Bone. Maybe this year we eat stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. The right stuff.
Not mashed potatoes.
That's not what I'm saying.
Okay. Happy birthday, D-Bone.
Happy Bone.
Age, we'll see you tomorrow. All right.
All right.
Boys in the back, great work. Great work today, boys. Really good. Graphics department, way to go. Happy birthday.
There you go, guys.
Mate, great work with the cake.
That a baby Mitt.
Yeah. Candles were lit. Candles were lit.
You did a good job.
Right away.
Covered it the whole time,
Yep.
too.
Where the fuck is D-Bone?
Golly.
Yep, had one of those.
Golly. Mitt's awesome, man.
He is. He's the best. All right. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change your life. We're in this thing together. Team on me. Team on three. 1, 2, 3. Team. Goodbye.